So the final whistle has just gone. Dinamo Zagreb 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Tottenham Hotspur are now out of the Europa League. I can't believe I'm saying that, to be honest, and I can't believe what I've witnessed tonight. I've got Spurs fan Josh with me from the Spurs debate. Josh, how are you? And what on earth have you made of tonight's game?
Chris, echo your thoughts, mate. Absolutely gutted. Can't believe what I've just seen over more than 90 minutes. You know, we had enough time to put that game to bed. We just needed one goal. We've let in 3. Absolutely shocked. I'm annoyed with the performance. I'm annoyed with the team, the players, the work ethic, the effort. And I just think it's a sad, sad day for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, mate.
I can't echo those words enough. A very sad day for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I tell you, I was looking forward to the draw tomorrow, and you know, we're all expecting Jose Mourinho to deliver trophies to Tottenham. And as you say, Josh, we just needed one goal to put us through. You know, you're thinking about Dinamo Zagreb scoring 4 tonight. You know, it didn't cross my mind. Melvyn, let's come to you. Welcome to the channel again. You know, what do you make of today's game?
I don't know. I'm speechless. You know, having a manager like Jose, you would think, you know, he's experienced. He knows how to get through games. You know, when you play home and away, it's what we've been saying for months. You know, he's experienced in the Europa League. He knows how to get through this competition. He's won it twice. And is he going to blame the players? Because I'm not going to blame the players. I'm going to blame him. You know, he's been brought in to win us trophies and get us far in this competition. And you know, rival fans have told us that he's finished. He's not the same manager that he used to be. You know, football's evolved, and sadly he hasn't. You know, that I've always backed the manager, and I always liked Jose. You know, I've always been Jose in, and I've always supported him. But you know, it's getting harder and harder to back him. It's with each game and each mistake. You know, he cannot keep shifting the blame onto the players or the referees, or, you know, today the referee didn't make any mistake. You know, the mistake was done by us. I think the mistake was done, if you look at Arsenal, they concentrated on the Europa League and put all their eggs in that basket, while we, you know, we played our full squad. We were half in the Premier League, half in the league. We didn't really know which we were focusing on. It seems that we focused on neither. Neither game was the priority, because against Arsenal, we didn't play at our best, and today we didn't play at our best. The team lost focus, and that stems from the manager. You know, how can you not be up for Europa League knockout? You know, how could you not be up for this game? It's a European competition, and it's so disappointing, and just you give up in moments like these. You lose faith in the club and in the team. And how do you go forward from this? It's a gutting result. And it just, you know, all the excitement we had a couple of weeks ago, and all the things we were saying about Son, Bale, and Kane, and Ali, and all these, and Gio coming into the team, all of that gone within the space of 1 week.
Josh, let's come to you. Now, one thing that really pains me as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and you've said the words tonight, you know, a very, very sad night for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. But the players tonight, you know, from minute one, their body language, they didn't look like they wanted to be there. They didn't look on it. Jose Mourinho, for most of the game, for me, didn't look like he even wanted to be there. I can't ignore all of these messages coming in on my right-hand side now on the screen, saying that they want Jose Mourinho out. How do you stand right now about Jose Mourinho? Because when you think back, November 2019, the board felt that Tottenham couldn't get a top 4 spot. Mauricio Pochettino was sacked. Tottenham is sat in 8th place in the Premier League right now. You know, mediocre results all season. It's been up, down, up, down, up, down. We lost 5 out of 6 in the Premier League. Then we won 5 games in all competitions on the bounce. Lost the North London derby in the manner that we did it. Lost tonight in the manner that we did it. You know, it's the manner for me that really pains me. In the, you know, losing a North London derby at the weekend, the way we did, losing tonight the way we did. You know, where does, you know, Jose Mourinho has said many times about winning the Europa League, which of course would give us a Champions League spot. We're now out of the Europa League. Where does it leave you as a Tottenham Hotspur fan thinking about the manager's future? Because as I say, you know, I'm neither Jose in or Jose out, but I can't ignore all of these messages and all of these comments here tonight saying about Jose out.
Chris, I've been Jose in and out all season. I've been in and I've been out. You know, we were flying at the beginning of the season. We're in the final of a cup, in the Carabao Cup. We got through the group stages and it was looking great. The wheels somewhat came off. We had injuries to key players. You know, we play defensive football. We play negative football. We play with no confidence. We play with no personality, no character. And for me, these are the, you know, Jose likes to use the word fundamentals. You know, he uses the word fundamentals a lot in his post-match interviews. What I'd like to ask Jose, where are these fundamentals in terms of how you set up the team and how they reflect you as a manager? Because your team reflects you as a manager. Your team is kind of almost, in a way, a galvanized version of the kind of style of football you believe in, the philosophy you believe in, the coaching methods you believe in, the training, the drills, the tactics. You know, the team reflects the manager. And if the team out there are playing like that, then Jose does have to go, because that's what they're showing that they're made of. You know, they've spent enough time with him now and his coaching staff. And for me, if that's what a Jose Mourinho team looks like, then Jose Mourinho has to take responsibility for the way they play. You can't hide behind they're tired, or, you know, we've played the most games in the top 5 leagues across Europe. You can't. It's your team. You're the manager. At what point does it not become not your team? At what point is it not your responsibility how they play? At what point is it not your coaching methods that we have to now question? Because I've had enough of people saying, you know, we've got individual errors in the team. And I accept that. There's loads of individual errors, and there has been. But the theme and the personality and the character of the way we're playing is almost anonymous. I don't see an identity. I don't see patterns of play. I don't see an approach which I can unify across a few results and say that's the way Tottenham Hotspur play football. And counter-attacking style is great when it works in the right moment against the right opposition, which we showed earlier in the season. But you can't be doing that against Zagreb. You can't be waiting for them to bring the game to you, or waiting for them not to score, or hoping for them not to score. We've got to finish that game. Do you know what I mean? We've got to go out in the first 30 minutes and stamp our authority. You know, how can Spurs go out there and just hope that Zagreb don't score? How can we just hope that we win? Playing this hopeful football, this kind of clueless, you know, having trust that will somehow get through it, that's not going to get us anywhere. You know, we've got to have character and personality, and that team lacks everything I've just said. Now, obviously, Jose can hide behind the fact that he's picked his weaker players in Sissoko and Winks and Dyer and Ben Davis. But you're the manager, you pick the players, so somehow, if you're picking the players, somehow you've got to be responsible for the way they play. Otherwise, where is the relationship between you and your players if you're not responsible for the way they perform? So Jose is going to have to take this one, you know, slap in his face for this, because there's nowhere to hide. Yes, the players might be tired. Yes, the players are, you know, squad players playing tonight. But I'm sorry, Chris, with the personnel we've got, even with the players that were out today, at 2-0 down, Zagreb shouldn't have had a sniff, right? We should have closed that game off in the first half. We had Harry Kane up front, who's the best, you know, in Europe at finishing. And I know he should have finished his chances tonight, Kane, but we can't just keep relying on Kane. We've got to come in as a teammate. And to me, I saw 11 strangers out there, mate. And that's what makes me kind of quite sick of what I saw tonight. Was I didn't see any unity. I didn't see the fight. I didn't see all the stuff that Jose talks about in the Amazon documentary about, you know, being one, you know, being a unit and going out there and absolutely giving it everything. I saw quite the opposite, mate. And that's quite deep, kind of, there's a deep underlying problem at Tottenham right now. And that's more worrying than the performance I've seen tonight, mate. That the performance is just a glance at what's really going on behind the scenes, mate. And that's more worrying. It's not a one-off result. We've seen it twice in a row now. I don't know where we go from here, mate. It's as down and deep as I know we've been this season now. I mean, this is going down to a level where we've lost the season, more or less. We've lost all hope. You know, we've just got the Carabao Cup final and a miraculous run in the league. But we're all sitting here looking at that bunch. Can't see it happening, mate. Can't see it.
David from the Irish Hotspur, thanks for joining us tonight, David, under these difficult circumstances. Of course, losing the North London derby the way that we did, losing tonight the way we did. I can't believe it. I'm absolutely lost for words the way that we performed tonight. I thought it was a shocking performance by the players. No one wanted to be there. The body language was absolutely awful. It absolutely pains me because I've been saying, trophies are coming. I believed since the start of the season that Tottenham could go on and win this trophy. Of course, Jose Mourinho's delivered trophies everywhere he's gone, particularly in his first seasons at every single club. David, how are you feeling about it?
First and foremost, I just want to say I'm deeply upset with the performance. Really pissed off. But look, every player that started out there tonight, we're all at this club before Jose Mourinho. Ultimately people say Jose, but when you talk about Jose, everyone talks about the players. The players, look, coming into this game, we all said rest players. Players looking tired after North London derby. Players need to be rested. He sent out a squad. Players should have been good enough. Harry Winks, he had all the motivation in the world today. He did make the English squad. Gareth Southgate said you still have time to play your way in. What did he do? Nothing. Sissoko got a French call. What did he do? Nothing. Harry Kane, 2 games in a row, anonymous. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can sit here and keep talking about Jose. At the end of the day, every single one of them players that started on that pitch tonight were all here long before Jose got here.
Yeah, but David, every single player that Jose Mourinho picked or could have picked tonight, they should have been good enough to get this job done, and they didn't. Yeah,
they should have been. They should have been. But how many times have we seen players bottle games? Bottle games when they matter. It's all well and good winning games when they don't matter, but when the games matter, they bottle the games. It's the same core of players. Same core of players.
David, since the other guys have been on and since you joined us, there has been so many comments in the stream stating that they want Jose out because, of course, everyone was relying on trophies. When Jose Mourinho was appointed manager, I was, relying on trophies. I've been saying it. We've jokingly said it all season about the trophies coming.
Yeah.
League Cup final on the 25th of April. God help us for that day. But I can't believe that Tottenham have gone out of the Europa League 1, and I can't believe that the fashion that we've gone out of the game. Particularly after the North London derby. You lose that North London derby, which is a game that all of us fans want to see. 110% effort, passion, determination, all of those things. And then you go into Europa League game, with this attitude, with this dreadful performance. How is this allowed to happen?
Don't know. Honestly, I'm speechless, to be honest with you, Chris. I don't know what's after happening. There's no way we should have lost that. No way we should have lost that whatsoever. None. And look, the thing is, they were sent out there, but Jose picked the squad he did, but they couldn't get a hold of the ball. They were sliding around like Jose Mourinho brought them out for a day at the water park. They just, there does come a point where these, we've defended so many of these players as well, but there does come a point where we do also have to really start questioning some of these players. Like I said, every single one of these were here at the club before Jose got here. They didn't win titles under Poch when the time came around, and they're doing the same under Mourinho now. Look, we can keep changing manner. Look, Jose could be sacked. For all we know, it could be Jose. But I honestly, look, you bring Pep Guardiola, you bring Klopp in here next. They're going to need money to spend. If you want to go down the other route and do a project, bring in Nagelsmann, Rodgers, they're going to need money to spend. It's as simple as that. There's only so much you can do with a squad that keep bottling games.
But the
core of this squad has to change.
But my point is, you're 2-0 up from the first leg, right? You're 2-0 up from the first leg. You go out in Croatia and you get that job done. Surely something has to be put on the manager for this performance tonight and not getting the result away in Croatia. I know you're a big Jose Mourinho fan, but surely you have to park some of the blame at Jose Mourinho's door tonight.
Yeah, in a way you can, but what do you question? The team talk? What do at the end of the day, his hands were tied. He had to rest players. We all said that after North London derby.
Do you know what?
Tonight.
Even if you park the bus for the whole game, just get us through to that quarter final.
Yeah, I get that. But Chris, look, I fully get what you're saying, but there is only so much a manager can do. At the end of the day, it's the players out there that have to do the job. They're the ones that are out there to put in the performance. They're the ones that are out there to carry out the message. Like, there's all Jose can do is put the formation, pick the players, do the team talk, do the training and the tactics. But ultimately, you can put all that in place. Poch put all that in place. But ultimately, when the players go out onto the field, it's up to them to deliver.
Melvyn, let's come to you. A super chat reply here from TK. Thank you very much. We're relying on substandard players from the Pochettino era. I worry for Jose still half the team. Enoch needs to go. Harry's gone in the summer. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Would you blame him if Harry left?
No.
No. You wouldn't blame him. And if he went to another Premier League club, I wouldn't blame him at this point, because you know what? It's not funny anymore, is it? It's not funny, and it's not even acceptable anymore either, because in the old days, I think during maybe Harry Redknapp era, during Villas-Boas era, we've lost games and we've been knocked out of competitions, but you've accepted it in a way. Yes, it was difficult to take, but we gave it our all. And, you know, we were knocked out of competitions, and you said, you know, fair play, it wasn't ours. But this should have been a competition where we really got far into. You know, I'm thinking about it here now, and I'm saying to myself, realistically, lads, did you think we were going to win the Europa League? Honestly, give me your answers. Did you think?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You all thought we were going to win the Europa League, because I knew at some point we were going to bottle it, either in the final or like we did today. I honestly didn't think we were going to win it. I knew we would. I thought we would go far, but now at least this gives us a chance. We have to go for the Premier League. It's all we have left. We have 9-10 finals that might get us back into Europe. And in the old days, when Harry Redknapp lost the semi-final to Portsmouth and we got knocked out, what did we do? The team reacted and we won against Chelsea and Arsenal. But do you honestly think we're going to get a similar type reaction from our guys or from Jose? We're not. If we go to Villa and win and maybe go on a run and win the next 5 games, then you can see something. But you realistically don't see it happening. It's not. It's the same story this season. The same mistakes. That's why it's so sickening, because we all could see it. We all know exactly what's wrong with this team. There's no spine that goes from top to bottom. There's no spine in this team like we had in the Pochettino era. We've lost the spine that used to be, you know, Hugo, Toby, Musa Dembele, Eriksen, Kane and Dele. That was the spine and the core of the team, and we've lost, you know, key components of that spine. And when we play in the Premier League and we play our best 11, we play fairly well. We play decent. We're average. When we start, you know, resting 2 or 3 players in the Europa League, that's where it goes horribly wrong. Two players, even 1 player from our best lineup makes the biggest difference. We cannot cope. Without Højbjerg, who's been the signing of the season, we cannot cope. Without Reguilon on left back, we cannot cope. If we don't have our best 11 playing out there, we have no chance of winning.
Melvyn, Jose Mourinho, he gets teams over that line. You know, we played him in Pochettino's first season. We played him in the League Cup final. You know, he got Chelsea over the line, beating us 2-0. And then, of course, in that semi-final against Manchester United, we went 1-0 up through Dele Alli. Jose Mourinho, Manchester United team, won that game, went into the final. You know, he gets teams over the line. You know, we all know how many trophies he has won. Why is he not getting Tottenham Hotspur over the line? You know, you can keep going on about players, but we have seen this season how well the Tottenham Hotspur players can play. We've battered Manchester United earlier on in the season 6-1, beating Southampton 5-2. We've ripped you know, teams apart this season. You know, we sat top of the Premier League for 5 weeks. What's happening? What is happening to our club right now?
I don't think the club will sack him. And I still don't know if I'm Jose in, if I'm Jose out. I want my club to win and to go in the right direction. But are we going into the right direction? Do you see a plan for the future? Do you
No,
see
I don't.
we're not improving? You know, from last season, last season was the worst season we've had in years.
Do you know, Melvyn?
2 points better off. We're only 2 points better off.
I said this during the game. The Arsenal game at the weekend, you know, the lack of passion, desire, motivation, all of those things. Arsenal game and tonight's game, those games were worse than the last month of Pochettino being here. And when you think of where we have gone since Pochettino has left to now, have we improved? You've just asked me that question. I don't think we've improved whatsoever. I think, if anything, we've gone backwards. Pochettino said that we needed a rebuild. You know, we've brought in players. Are they the right players? Because at the moment, those players don't look like they want to be here. You know, it's worrying for us Tottenham fans as well that Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, you know, the good players of the team, you know, who deliver week in, week out, you know, it's very worrying that they are going to leave. Would any of us blame Harry Kane and Heung-min Son for leaving? I don't think we would, because they want to win trophies. And at the moment, you know, trophies are looking like a million miles away. Josh, what are your thoughts?
Look, guys, there's so many problems, right? I mean, you know, the Jose out fans, you know, he picks the team, he drills the team, he coaches them. He's involved in set piece coaching, you know, controlling the ball, tactical nous. Those are all his things. That's the job of a manager, is not just picking the team, you know, and saying, go out there and do a job. That's not, anyone could do that job. It's about what he does behind closed doors. And I'm starting to question what the hell is going on behind closed doors. Now, is it the players that are not bothered? Is it the players not believing in Jose? Is it Jose not having a clue what he's doing? There's multiple reasons why this is going wrong right now. But the clear reason is it's not working. What's out there right now, that the staff and the coaching guys there, the personnel that are managing our football club at the moment, I'm talking about the players, right? It's not working. It's not working. That's very clear to see. And when it's not working, whether you like it or not, you have to change it, right? Otherwise, you keep going downhill. So, you know, anyone who's out there saying, you know, give it more time, maybe you give it a little bit of time. Maybe you give it a little bit of time and see how things go the next 2-3 games. But something drastically has to change. He did pick a weaker team today. Maybe you got it wrong, Jose. Maybe he trusted the players too much to go out there and perform. But
Josh, we're 8th in the Premier League, Josh. We're 8th.
We're 8th in the Premier League. I mean, we went on a little run with them, 3 wins. We didn't show up against Arsenal. We thought that was a one-off. We thought the players were tired and all the excuses were coming out that the players, you know, whatever, Harry Kane was carrying an injury, or, you know, Gareth Bale looked tired. Matt Doherty should have been chosen. So Jose has to take Matt Doherty's selection on the chin. But what I'm not seeing is, even if you go to a Sam Allardyce team, there's an identity with Sam Allardyce. Whether it's Tony Pulis, there's an identity. You can see what they're going to do. You know what's coming. I just don't know what our identity is at the moment. And that's what worries me. It's great playing teams like Burnley and Palace when they sit off you and you can play your lovely football, which is what we've done. But when you're playing teams that press you, that hustle you, that want it more, where is our way out of that? Where's our technical nous and ability to get in and out of those situations like Arsenal did it? And tonight, those lot must have watched it on Sunday, the Zagreb players, and they did exactly what Arsenal did. They just came for us. They pressed us. We don't seem to know what to do when we get pressed. Now, is it an ability problem because you're Winks and Sissoko's? Let's be honest, they are players and they don't know how to get out of a situation individually. Or is it that the players are clueless and they don't have the know-how, the expertise from management on what to do in those situations? So yes, the players are average, but you could still take a bunch of average players and drill them to somehow win a football game, to somehow get it done. If it's ugly, if it's, you know, brutal, if it's not great, you know, silky football, we're not asking for that. We're asking for results. That's the problem I worry about, is if we're not doing it the silky way, there is no way. It's just a bunch of strangers out there trying to, you know, somehow hit and hope and get the ball in the back of the net, get it up to Kane. That seems to be the instructions. Get it up to Kane somehow and hope he scores. And when Sonny's not there, you know, we just, you know, do you know what? For me, Chris, yeah, Jose needs to get this bunch playing a different way when it's not going our way, and that's his job. That's his job, is to find a different way when it's not going our way. And I'm not seeing the different way. I'm not seeing anything new or different apart from when teams give us space. Yes, we play football when teams give us space, but what are we doing when teams press us? What are we doing when teams come for us? I don't see an answer, mate. I don't see the solution that Jose's delivered with this bunch. Now, is that because the players are average, or they're not listening, or they're not able, or is that because Jose himself doesn't know how to coach them that way? You know, he only knows how to play with Galacticos and classy players who've got the skills and the ability already. This is a big challenge for Jose because he's actually got average players of which he has to find a way. And this is where your Sam Allardyces and your Tony Pulises, this is where they earn their money, because they take an average bunch and they keep them up in the Premier League and they find a way to do it. Jose, where is your way to find a result when teams are pressing us and coming at us? I've not seen enough, Chris. I've not seen enough of that. And because of that, the liability lies with him more than anyone at the moment.
Kev William writes here, I've lost faith now. I'm nearly vomiting here. Kev, I feel exactly the same as you. David, there's a comment here from Jason for you. Pochettino got us to the Champions League final with Harry Winks and Moussa Sissoko in centre midfield. How can you not blame Jose Mourinho?
Yeah, I agree, but we also had better left backs for centre back partnership. You know what I mean? We also had Christian Eriksen as a number 10. You know, so it's very easy to say that, but there is a lot of players. It's not just a 2-man team; it's an 11-man team, and all 11 men have to go out there. Like at the end of the day, you know, look, this whole thing. If we're going to be fair, this whole thing about Jose doesn't try things, he does. He brought on all the big lads off the bench today. The result was still the same. Do you know what I mean? So there does come a point where, like, we do have to question. Look, half of these players that play tonight weren't even in Pochettino's starting 11. And this is how far the club has gone backwards in terms of rotation of the squad, players, transfers, everything else. You know, look, Jose Mourinho's not perfect. Jose Mourinho has his faults. But to sit here and say, this is all on Jose and let's sack him, I think is a bit premature. I do think there's a lot more issues, especially when you look at the core of the squad. It's not Jose Mourinho's squad, is it really? It's still Pochettino's squad.
No. Do you know
he
what,
doesn't
David,
have Pochettino's best players.
David, don't get me wrong. I've never, and I said this to you the other day, I've never ever said as a Tottenham Hotspur fan in all my time.
No, I wasn't saying you. I was just saying in general
that I want to manage it out. You know, I've never ever said that. Yeah. But this is frustrating, super frustrating. You know, going out of this competition when you're 2-0 up after the first leg. You know, half time it was 0-0. We had 69% possession in the first half. You expect Tottenham to get over the line. You expect Jose Mourinho to get Tottenham over the line tonight. You know, that's my But
you also expect Harry Kane, Reguilon, Ndombele when they come on. You also expect all them to get us over the line equally.
Yeah, absolutely. Melvyn, let's come to you. Michael writes on the screen now. Dinamo Zagreb had Lucas Moura of the Ajax energy tonight. No energy from all of Tottenham tonight. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about if how you can look at this and it be in a positive direction, or if there is any positive thing that happened this season, because it just seems up and down. We've had a good start, and then went downhill, and then we picked up again, and then it's just so inconsistent, and it just seems we've not built on anything, and we've not improved. It just seems that, I don't know. It's hard to know where we are as a club, if we've gone forward or backwards, or I don't know. It's so hard to think, because it seems that we have good players in the club, but they can't seem to play as a team, as a unit. We have so much holes in the team. I think this summer, I think it's more important we move players on than really getting players in. I think players like Moussa Sissoko and Harry Winks, I think these are holes in the midfield that need to be sorted. I think, I don't know. It's gutting. I don't even know what to say. It's hard to blame it on Jose, because I think you were correct. You were saying it's not his team. It's not entirely his players, and the winning mentality doesn't flow within the entire team. I think no one shares, for example, Højbjerg's mentality, Højbjerg's work rate. It doesn't. If the team shared Jose's mentality, that second goal would have never happened because he would have been tackled and someone would have picked up a yellow card outside the box. But they let him walk through the team. You know, why wasn't he tackled? Where in the documentary, when we played Wolves, all of our guys were tackled. They never got the chance. You know, foul him, get a yellow card. You know, we would still be in the competition if probably someone, you know, challenged him outside the box. Where's, you know, what he called them, smart cunts or whatever he said in the documentary, intelligent. You know, we have to be a bastard in football. We were too nice. And what happened to that mentality and that fight in the team? We just wasn't there. Wasn't there against Arsenal, and it wasn't there today. What happened to those players and that fight? What happened?
We know the players. We know the players are good enough, though, Melvyn. That is the thing that really winds me up tonight, because we know that those players can go out to Dinamo Zagreb and get a result. So why did they not perform tonight? Particularly, you know, I'm going to bring it up again, particularly after that very dismal, very poor performance on Sunday in a North London derby, when passion should be flowing, absolutely flowing in that match, and it wasn't.
But look, you even had Lamella coming out on Twitter. You know, we're ready for revenge. We're ready to show everybody. Stop putting out on social media. Show us on the pitch.
Exactly.
Like, you know, people also, they're going to say, well, look, any good manager can get better out of these players. Ultimately, what you've seen tonight was more or less what got Pochettino sacked. Because once Poch started losing the likes of Walker, Dembele, and they weren't replaced properly, that's what cost Pochettino his job. So the question is, and we all agree Pochettino is a good manager. So can a manager, would a good manager really get more out of these players? Well, not really, because ultimately, once Poch started losing these best players and we were replacing them with like Trippier and players like that, and Ben Davies, Winks and Sock were having to come in the fold, ultimately he got sacked, didn't he? So if we agree that Poch is a good manager, you can't really say that any good manager would get better out of these players. I think the only way for moving on here is, look, see this out to the end of the season. And I've said this before, see it out to the end of the season. And we need to do something in the transfer market. We need to rotate the core of this squad, the loser mentality, the hang-ons, the ones that were. It's baffling. Like how many times do we have to give these players the opportunities? Like, and then there was this narrative of players. Oh well, you know, we can't win anything at Tottenham. We might have to go to win trophies. They've been in position countless of times to win trophies. You know what I mean? So then it comes about when I see this sort of like stuff like that being said, and then the opportunities that's been given to them. Like, what do they expect? That it's just going to be handed to them? Did they not realize they have to earn, they have to fight for their right to be able to lift these trophies? Did they think they're just going to rock up and play their way and win a trophy? Did they not realize, like, you have to fight for every inch? The reason why Dynamo stayed in this game tonight, and the reason why they were getting the luck of the bounce of the ball a lot of the time, in my opinion, was because they earned it. They fought for it every single time, and they earned the bounce of the ball. They earned every bounce of the breaking ball that went their way. They earned it. Our players didn't. There has to come a time where we do really have to, like, I know this whole thing about saying what you're going to do, you're going to get rid of 10 players and just bring in another manager. You're not saying 10 players. But if you can get rid of 4 and bring in 4 more players Mourinho wants, and let him literally start putting his authority on the squad, stamping it and his mentality throughout the squad, well, then you might see better results. I just don't believe any other manager is going to come in and get better out of these players. And not a manager that's going to come in and let's give him money. I'm talking about, if you're going to be fair, a manager that's going to come into the exact same situation Jose Mourinho is in with this squad without investment. It's not going to happen.
Dave, there's absolutely no question, by the way, that Dinamo Zagreb deserved the win. They definitely did. You know, no question about that. You know, perhaps take this point on screen here, David, as well. TK, Jose and Spurs, awkward first date going nowhere. Jose does not play to the players' strengths. Also not good enough.
No, look, see, this is where, look, I can get what people are saying, but it's not his squad. Let's be real. It's not his squad. You know, he can come in and try and change the mentality, but if the players don't have that mentality, which they've shown before, there's nothing he can do. The only way out of this, even when you bring in another manager, is buying and selling players and rotating the squad.
But we could have parked the bus tonight. We could have had every single man behind the ball. You know, Jose Mourinho has played like this in the past. You know,
well, he also got slated for it in the past.
All of us tonight, would we have cared whether we played a boring 90 minutes of football to get us over that line and be in that hat tomorrow for the quarter-final draw?
No, I wouldn't.
Why didn't it happen?
Look, Chris, the fans would have got on his back if we'd gone out that play in a low block. I think the fans all wanted us to go out and attack the game and give it some and try and get that goal that we all needed, and then sit back and counter and do the whole low block nonsense. I think that's probably what most fans would have wanted. But I agree with you. If we played boring football, 2 on target, you know, give them 6 on target and get through, that's all we wanted was a result. But that doesn't set us up for the long term going into Villa. The problem here is there's been an undertone throughout the season of defensive and negative football, which has now got into the blood of these players. And they don't know how to play possession, tactical, kind of controlling football is what I would call it, where you control the game. I think they're almost so drilled to be disciplined to stop the opposition from scoring that they almost are clueless on how to score themselves unless the opposition steps off. And that's what happened against Spurs.
We have most goals in the Premier League this year.
We've got what? Sorry?
We're up there. So we do score goals. This whole thing that we don't score goals, it's not true.
Well, what I mean is what we do against the better teams, which is why we can't beat anyone above us and then around us in the Premier League, is we try to stop them before it's almost playing with fear before we play without fear. And I just think that, you know, those lesser teams, the Burnleys and Palaces, show us that when we play without fear, we're great. But I think Jose respects the opposition, and you should respect the opposition if it's a good team. But I do think at the same time that we're not controlling the game. And I think if you don't control a game of football, what right do you have of winning it? Or what, unless you're trying to daylight robbery and get out there with a quick goal, fair enough. And that can happen. We've done that earlier in the season. We've done the daylight robbery. But you can't have a long-term plan on not controlling a football game. And I want to see this team control the football match. And when I mean control, I mean it's having, you know, not the stats. I'm not talking about possession and all that. I'm talking about having an identity where we're actually, when I say in control, you can see that Spurs are managing the game. We didn't look like we were managing the game. I mean, what was our game management today? What, you know, hope they don't score and hope we score. That's not game management. That's very naive football. We're playing with fear. We're playing with naivety. It's very immature. There's no real maturity in our performances right now. And against Arsenal, we look like, you know, headless chickens. Yes, I blame Jose for obviously some of the team selection against Arsenal. But even still, guys, do you see an identity? Do you see a way of playing? Do you see a long-term or even a long-term, mid-term, going into Villa and Everton, United and Everton? What is our character? You know, I mean, I keep saying it. You look at Premier League teams that are successful, that pick up points. They have a way of playing and they're very good at it. And they're masters of it. And that's what they rely on. They're experts in the way they play. Right now, what is the way that we play? I mean, I don't want to hear about this.
How many years has Klopp and Pep Guardiola been at City, and how much funds and say have they had on players to be able to get that style of play? Because that wasn't there when Pep first walked in. He was still losing games. And what happened? He spent money on quality players. He brought in players and results completely changed. Pep Guardiola didn't come in and just get the best out of what was there. He only walked in and said, "You're not good enough. I want to be a winner. I want to win things. You're gone. Give me 250 million. I want new wing backs." You know what I mean? If you want to go and win things, you can't.
David, I must say, do you know what really frustrates me? And I know we've had a lot of chats and we agree on most things, right? But I think tonight you do need to put some of the blame on Jose Mourinho, and I do think that, you know, there are a number of Tottenham fans. Whenever we lose a game, whether it be, you know, whatever competition it is, you know, the great answer and the most expected answer now is, well, we need a new one of them. We need a new midfielder. We need 2 new centre backs. We need this. We need this. We can't keep saying we need new players every time we lose a game. You know, they should have performed tonight. End of.
I get that, Chris, but you could also flip that and say you can't keep saying we need a new manager every time we lose a game like we've seen this season. No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying it. I'm saying in general from what we have seen on social media and stuff.
But from what we've seen of Jose Mourinho, and particularly the record that he's got, the amount of trophies that he's won, you expect a lot more. You know, me being a Spurs fan at the start of this season, I was expecting Jose to be lifting trophies at the end of this season. That's now looking extremely bleak. You know, going into the League Cup final on the 25th of April, you know, that's their only chance to lift a trophy in 13 years. You know, we've had comments come up here saying perhaps you're expecting too much. You know, expecting too much. 13 years as a Spurs fan without a trophy. I don't think that's expecting too much at all.
No, it's not. Look, I'm not sitting here like, look, I'm not saying Josie doesn't have his faults, but what I'm saying is the gist of my arguments is when I see the same core of players over two managers, which is the common denominator is the players, I struggle to keep putting the blame on the manager all the time. Like I've seen it happen at other clubs. I've seen it at Arsenal. Look at their demise. Do you know what I mean?
I think most great managers get to year 4, 5, or 6, and it doesn't make them a bad manager. It just means that their time's up in the way their philosophy is to play. We've seen it with Wenger, great success, Poch success. You know, all the top players, Klopp. You know, there comes a point where you're not always going to get Fergies. There won't be many Fergies ever again in our lifetimes. It's the modern game. 4 or 5 years is a good long stretch, and having success over 4 or 5 years is deemed as, you know, a really good achievement. I think we need to stop looking for managers that are going to last 10 years. That's not the way of football. You know, 4 or 5 years is good, guys. That's not, you know, Poch did a great job. It's just, you know, it's the way the philosophy goes of certain managers. You know, the game evolves, managers don't evolve, and you need someone new, new tactics to come in and, you know, take the players to another level in terms of coaching and ability. And I don't know where Jose's taken us from Poch. I mean, yes, he's got us to a cup final, but you know, we've had some fair teams along, average teams in your Brentfords and whatnot. We should be beating them anyways. I expected Jose to be smashing up the Europa League, smashing up the Premier League. I do agree with you, David, on the players need to step up. Don't get me wrong, but are they playing for him? When you're not playing for your manager in any walk of life, there's a serious problem there. You've lost the dressing room almost. You know,
but Josh, who are they going to play for? Because they stopped playing for Pochettino, a manager they supposedly were friends with and love. Who are they going to start playing for?
If they're not playing for him, like the team was playing for Poch, we've got a serious problem here, mate. I mean, that's the start of the end for him. Then, I mean, what do you do? Do you just ignore, you know, the squad and keep the manager? And that's a very high risk strategy. Or do you look at the squad and say, whatever it is, I'm not saying you're a bad manager, I'm not saying your training techniques are poor, but they are not buying into you as a person and as a manager, and therefore they're not putting 150% because they're just not buying into your philosophy. Maybe they look at it as football that they don't feel the way football should be played that way when they look at other teams in the Premier League that are.
I get that, but they had football played the way they wanted football played. What was the end result of it as well? It's the same team. Look, the thing is, what I say is, we need to ride this out to the end of the season. What needs to happen is the board need to bring in a manager that they're going to stick with. And then they have to start. Look, they're going to have to take the jump. Like Liverpool done it. They were in obscurity for years. They brought in Klopp, said, this is the guy. We're going to stick with him. We're going to trust him. We're going to give him the players he needs to try and bring us to the glory days. And, like, that's what we need to do. We need to find the right manager in the summer, whether it's Jose or not. I don't care. Get the right manager in the summer and change the dressing room around and let him have the players he wants to. Because at the end of the day, this dressing room, you're going to bring in another manager in another year and a half, he's going to be gone. And you're going to have the same thing. It's the same thing. Two managers, two different ways of playing, two different manager styles. What do these players want?
You know, Jose's playing the Sissokos and the Winkses and the Davises. He knows what they're all about. He knows better than all 4 of us what they're all about. He sees them, you know, on a 6 days a week. He sees them on the pitch, off the pitch. He has to take responsibility for his selection tonight. You know, we were 2-0 up, and all we had to do is get a 3rd goal. Did he go out there and pick the wrong team? Did he expect, you know, Zagreb to be weaker than they were? Did he not expect this reaction from Zagreb? I mean, how much responsibility?
But on the flip side, Josh, did he expect these players to control the ball? Did he expect these players to make simple 5-yard passes? Yes. Did he expect these players to try and be on the ball and control this game like we did at home? Yes. The backline was the same backline we had at home. Let's not forget that. The exact same backline to start tonight was the exact same backline to start at home.
We could talk about,
you know what I mean? So how can they do it one game and then not do it this game?
The thing is, we could talk about individuals all day long, and every club has individuals that make mistakes every weekend in the pre. But what's the unified approach of that team is what I'm asking, because that's down to the manager. The unified approach of that team is the glue of what the manager must bring together, and that's bringing 11 players together with an identity, with a mission, with a way to play. And I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the sort of the real way that we should expect the players to be playing against Zagreb. That's not. I mean, what you saw in the first half, were you proud of that? I mean, that was shocking, mate.
No,
I mean,
but who's on the white line? Who's wearing the shin pads? Who's wearing the boots? Who's controlling the ball? Who's passing the ball? The players, if they can't take care of the ball, that's not on the manager.
Do you know what, though, Josh? Do you know what?
The players don't know their jobs. They don't know what they're doing.
At half-time, when it was 0-0, we were still in a quarter-final draw. You know, yes, it was a boring 45 minutes, but, you know, really, you rely on Jose Mourinho, and I'm going to say it again, particularly after the record that he's got of getting so many teams over the line and winning trophies. You expect to go through to the quarterfinals and be in the hat tomorrow. I find it absolutely unbelievable. Melvyn, let's come to you. Josh writes on the screen now. Josh, thanks very much for your point. Jose out now. Brendan Rodgers in now, or Nagelsmann next year. There's also another comment here from Lappers82. If someone offered me a free season ticket, I'd rip it up. That's how I feel about the club at the moment in time. Now, Melvyn, if all of us fans were in the stadium right now, obviously not in Croatia, but, you know, in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as a whole, you know, in Premier League football and so on, how do you think these fans would be reacting to Jose Mourinho's football right now?
I don't know. Everyone, I think, would be booing at this point, but, you know, they'd be booing the team off. Going back to the point you were saying before, it's because the thing is with Jose, we're not the thing that he's known for getting the team over the line. You know, we were winning 1-0 against Arsenal with 2-3 minutes left. Since when has not a Jose team not been able, you know, defend that last 3 minutes, you know, fight in that last 3 minutes? They scored. There was 3 minutes left, you know, get it over the line. And we're halftime 1-0 up. Since when is a Jose team, you know, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, since when? Manchester United even, since when a Jose Mourinho team has not been able to do that? Why can't we? Why can't he do it at Spurs? Why? That never.
You see Nate goals go in.
Find me a game where Inter Milan or Real Madrid or Manchester United or Chelsea were 1-0 up and there was 3 minutes left and they conceded a goal. They would have died. His players would have, you know. Why isn't that mentality in our club? Why? Is he lost it? Why? He's known for these things. This is why we brought him in, because he knows how to get teams over the line. You know, we're 2-0 up in a tie like this. Why can't that passion, that fire that he has in him, did it die out? Why it's not inflicting in our team? You cannot see it anymore.
Melvyn, do you not think the way he treats the players is very maybe not in line with the management of successful managers today? I mean, how many managers treat players like that in public? You know, Mauricio Pochettino was a gentleman, and he might not have won trophies, but he left us with some awesome memories, and he still had success, and he never threw players out.
Memories you want to be leading with. It's trophies at the end of the day. I don't care less about memories. It's trophies. It's all about
but in comparison to what Poch did and Jose's done, you can see the differences, guys. He was a gentleman. He was a gentleman of a man, and you'd love to play for him. We all agreed that. The way, you know, there's certain managers that you watch the way they conduct themselves, right, in the professional environment, and you just want to play for them. Klopp's an example, right? I just wonder if Jose Mourinho's ways of dealing with players is earning him respect from the players, or is he getting the opposite from the players? Is he driving the players up the wrong wall in terms of the way he's treating them? Because there is one thing we can't deny, is he's very ruthless in the way he treats with players publicly and personally, you know, in the club. And is that the right way to go about getting the respect of the players to play for you 100%? Because I wonder if that side of him, and I don't want to use words like ego, because he's a very successful manager, so we shouldn't use words like ego with Jose, because he deserves the praise he gets because of his CV. But the way he deals with players, I just wonder if that management piece is not driving the best out the players, you know, because I'm not seeing that on the pitch, guys. I'm not seeing players dying for him, running for him, giving it all. And the basics of football is giving that. You know, anyone can run and keep a tempo of a game. Look at the tempo at which we're playing. It's lethargic at best.
I get that.
And it is that because
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%.
I feel like the way he treats the players, I'm not sure if that's conducive to get the best out of them. Is I guess the point I'm trying to make is, you know, that ruthlessness is great, you know, here or there, but I just hope the players are not looking at him thinking, you know, we don't respect him. And if you don't respect someone, you're not going to do much. You're not going to give your heart and soul for them. You know, you're almost kind of waiting for him to leave and go.
So are we now asking Jose Mourinho to stop what won him everything, to what won him trophies at every other club? We're asking him to come in and not be Jose Mourinho. At the end of the day, you're bringing a manager for him to be himself. You know, look, these players, no matter whether you speak to them nicely or whether you speak to them the way Koch did or Mourinho does, the same results happen.
David, does this change everything though? Because of course, you know, Pochettino, you know, as much as people love him or think that he, you know, won nothing and wasn't a success at Tottenham, you know, he was sacked because the board felt that he couldn't get top four and couldn't get a Champions League spot. Now it seems, you know, quite a lot and quite evident, you know, these past few months that Jose's probably put all of his eggs in one basket to go out and win the Europa League to get into the Champions League next season. You know, I'm very positive. I try and be very positive about my club, but you know that, David. We've had many conversations in the past few months. Now, finishing in the top four, you know, is going to be a very hard task, you know, particularly with our results so up and down. You know, how confident are you now of getting in that top four?
Look, I'm not very confident. And I'll be honest with you, Chris. Look, you know, if he doesn't get top four or he doesn't get what he came here for, it's a failure. But is that on him or is that on the board, the recruitment, the club? You know what I mean? There does come a time where you can't hide away from your problems. You have to stand here. And in order for change to happen, you have to sit here and admit that some of these players are just not good enough. They can't control the ball. They can't pass the ball 5 yards under pressure. You know, like the thing is, no matter what manager you're going to bring in here, you're going to need investment. Whether you want to do it with Jose or not, it starts with the club at heart. Our recruitment has been poor. That's why we're left with some of the players we're left with in the squad.
David, I know
you're going. David, if they're that poor, why pick them? Why pick them? Why pick Dodds if he's that poor? You're sort of shooting yourself in the foot.
Can I say
one
thing?
You said the players were tired. Like we all sat here and agreed the players were tired after Thursday. He has to rest them somehow. He tried to do it tonight because he thought the job was done. He was let down. We were let down. You know, the players were let down. Everyone was let down tonight. As a club, as a collective, we were all let down. But like, look, ultimately, I do think I have said this before. I do think Jose is going to carry the can. Is it the right decision? Personally, not. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I do think it's deeper issues. I just thought my fear is I don't want to go down the route of Arsenal of sack a manager before you realise it's your playing squad, and then your playing squad is in such a mess that's going to take 2-3 seasons to sort out, and you're back down where you were under Mourinho. I don't want to be that club. And that's why I think if you can just change the core of these players up, I do think you will see results. Like, I think it's very harsh to say it's not, you know, Mourinho's not doing his thing when it's not really his squad. It's still a Pochettino squad. We haven't evolved enough.
Let's bring in Antony Costa. Antony, welcome to the channel tonight. Obviously, you know, lost 3-0. I spoke to you after the North London derby. Lots of swearing on the phone. I spoke to you during today's game. Lots of swearing on the phone. How are you feeling?
Disgusted, mate. That performance was a joke. That performance lacked quality, as we all know. There was no fight, no desire, and we will always be bottle jobs. We will always be the bridesmaid, and judging by that performance, nothing stopped. Okay, up of us bantering them not down the road because they had a 4.5-hour flight from Greece, but they turned up to a North London derby. Yeah, we played at home last week, all laughing and joking, taking the mick out of them lot. Yeah, they flew out tonight to try and get the job done, and they failed us yet again in Europe. Yet again, just make it hard for ourselves. Yeah, we're a laughing stock. End of. I don't want to hear no stats. I don't want to hear none of that. What I saw tonight, Spurs bottling a Europa League. I'm just me.
Anthony, how
Just
can
whatever.
Tottenham not give
I'm just-
the reaction on that North London derby?
Spurs fans. David's got his Spurs behind him. This gentleman here's got his Spurs. Your Spurs behind him. We're still here trying to big up this club. What? Bunch of 11 individuals on the pitch. Thinks Dyer on that pitch, yeah? They're proper players. Done with them.
Anthony, Manny Man writes a comment on screen now saying that we need to give some of our under-23s in the Premier League, give them a chance to give a reality check to the other players.
What, under 23s? Do what they got to do. I'm not bothered. Do what they got to do. Do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Anthony,
care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. What's that?
Anthony, how are you feeling about Jose Mourinho right now?
Boys, Chris, I don't care. I'm fed up of it all. Jose in, Jose out, Jose shake it all about. I don't care. I don't care. Don't matter who you get in. Who you get in. Whether you got Messi up front, Ronaldo up front. We're still going to bottle it because that's what Spurs do. Yeah? Let's be honest now. We are a banter club. We are a cursed club. End of. Do not tell me about nothing else because I'm not in the mood to start trying to figure out where it went wrong. What went wrong tonight was 11 individuals on that pitch did not know their job. Blaming each other. No stringing passes. No passing forward. Urgency. Nothing. Pathetic.
Anthony,
Pathetic,
Anthony, did you expect us to win the Europa League this season? Did you think we were going to win it?
No, I didn't expect us to win. No, not at all, mate.
No,
not at all, fella. I expected us to do a little bit better than what we did tonight. Sorry.
So I'll ask you this. I didn't expect us to win the Europa League either. So it's probably the best thing we got knocked out early and not got knocked out in the semi-final, or even worse in the final. That's probably what was going to happen. We were going to get far, but we were never going to get over the line. I didn't expect Tottenham to win.
Why not, Melvyn? You've got to
because
believe.
we're not. We're not. We haven't beaten anyone big this season. We haven't performed against Liverpool, against Manchester City. We played them at their worst and we beat them. We beat Manchester United in their second game or third game of the season when they were unfit. Let's see how we play them when they're playing well. We haven't beaten anyone this season. We got to a final and we beat Brentford in the semi-final. We haven't beaten anyone properly this season. When you say, "Oh, that was a good performance," so probably getting knocked out of the Europa League. Now we can put all our eggs in the Premier League basket. And not look what Arsenal did. Arsenal prioritized the Europa League. And they still beat us in the league. And they still beat us. They said the Europa League is the most, even their fans said it. They said the Europa League is more important than the North London derby. And they got through both of them. That's what's embarrassing, is because we prioritized the Arsenal fixture, because we rested players in the Europa League to focus on the league. And we lost in the Europa League anyway. So now we have to go back to the Premier League.
Mate, listen, we are not. I'd rather finish 8th. Yeah, teach us all a lesson. Yeah, because we deserve it. That was a disgrace tonight. That was a disgrace.
Do you blame the players or the manager? Do you blame the players or the manager?
Blame them both, Mel. Both. I don't care. If you're looking at Premiership sides, we should be in it, but we didn't. We beaten Brighton, but we didn't. But we didn't. So there's a pattern here, isn't there? There's a pattern of bottle jobs FC, mistakes FC.
But think about it. In Jose Mourinho, when he was at Manchester United, Inter, Real Madrid, have you ever seen his team, and even Chelsea, go 2-0 up in a knockout competition and lose. Have you ever seen any of his teams do that? He came to
breaking all the records.
No,
He's breaking every single record at Tottenham.
He came to Tottenham and now
he's broken his own records. This is what I'm saying. Come to Tottenham, Jose. Come to Tottenham, Pep Guardiola. Come to Tottenham, Mr. Messi. Come to Tottenham, Ronaldo. You will not score. You will lose all your games that you're supposed to win. It's a disgrace, mate. I am done trying to back everything. I support everyone. But one thing I will not do is banter them lot down the road from us. Yeah, and I think we all shouldn't do either. I'm not saying you guys do. Yeah, because we are a laughing stock. Yeah, laughing stock. We're all laughing at them going to Greece last week. Ha ha ha. You got nah. I don't say no. And all that. We need to be quiet because we're a joke. We're a joke.
David,
I'm done.
David, let's come to you. Antony said there we're a laughing stock, and that's how most of us feel tonight. Obviously, losing the North London derby, with so many attacking players on the pitch. When Jose Mourinho put that starting 11 out, you expected a whole lot more. We got one shot on target in the first half. We got one shot on target in today's game as well in the first half. What is it with us? Not giving so much attacking play in that first 45 minutes again. And as I said earlier, where is the reaction from Sunday? Where is the reaction from losing the North London derby?
Doesn't that stem from the manager, though? That has to come from the manager.
Look, the players were out here on social media saying they were fighting this, that, and the other. So the players were clearly revved up for it. It just didn't happen for them. They just didn't get out of the blocks. Lamela was out there tweeting before this game. We want revenge. We're going out there to give the fans this, that, and the other. So I don't think it's a question of the players not being up for it or Jose not having the players up for it, because judging by the tweets that came out, they were clearly up for it. They just weren't good enough on the night. If you don't have possession of the ball and you can't keep possession of the ball, you're going to lose games. It's that simple. It's the fundamental of football. The teams that usually has most of the possession of the ball and can keep the ball end up creating chances to win the game and score. You can't create chances if you don't have players who can't keep the ball, can't do the basics. How many times was the ball bobbling around there? How many times do you see them taking 2-3 touches to get it under control? It's just shocking. It's shocking. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me because I put my chest, my heart out there, everything else, my passion. I put it all out there. It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for you, Chris. Embarrassing for you, Chris. It's embarrassing for everybody here on this panel. It's embarrassing for the club. It's just an embarrassment from top to bottom right now. And honestly, I'm fit to cry. I've just had enough. I've just had enough. I've had enough. I've had enough.
Dave, mate, don't waste your boyfriend, please. Yeah, you got obviously. I'm sure you got a family. Go and look after them, because them lot that play tonight don't care about us lot. Yeah, I don't want to see tweets. Yeah. We're fighting. I can tweet that. Does it mean anything? Show your things on the pitch and then let's have a chat. Yeah. It's bullshit, mate. Bull. Crap, a lot of it. Rubbish, mate. Rubbish.
Josh, you got anything to add?
Oh, Josh, that's
Look, at the end of the day, he's got best part of a whole day to train these players day in, day out, 5 days, 6 days a week, whatever it is. I don't know what they're doing on the training pitch because I can't see any of that evidence on the pitch. So whatever they're doing at Hotspur Way, it's not working. Whatever it is, I don't know what they're doing. Whatever drills they're doing, whatever team talks they're having, whatever motivational talks they're having, whatever Ledley or Sacramento are doing, it's just not working. So I'm sorry to say it, but you have to question what's going down at Hotspur Way. We see 95 minutes of a football match, but they see the players day in, day out. So if what they're doing behind the scenes is not working, when we're out there, then I'm really sorry to say, but something different has to come in and something different has to be tried. Because how long can we take this crap where we go out there, we don't control the game, we've got some of the best players in the league in certain positions, we should be able to carry even passengers in our team if we get everyone playing united and playing a certain way. But I just don't see a unified approach. I don't see a style. I don't see set piece styles. I don't see in-game management. I don't see all the great things that great football teams have in Tottenham Hotspur's team at the moment. I don't see it in our team at the moment. And for me, that's the sad thing, is that there's no foundations there. It's just go out there and hope we score, hope they don't score. And because of whatever they're doing at Hotspur Way, not working on the pitch, I'm sorry, Jose, but great, you might have done this at Chelsea and United and Porto and Real Madrid, but it's not working at Hotspur Way. And it might be that we're a cursed club, and it might be that whoever comes fails. But, you know, not long ago, we were finishing top 4, top 3, right? We beat some good teams on the way to the final. I know we had a bit of luck with VAR, but, you know, we made it happen. If you knock on the door hard enough, it will open somewhat. And we're just not knocking hard enough. We're not doing enough, chaps. And I'm sorry.
That was the culmination of 5 years put together by Pochettino, that Champions League one. Mourinho's only here a year and a half. My question is that if we do bring in another manager and the same thing keeps happening, what do we do then? Because we're after wasting money on 2 managers that could have been spent on the playing squad.
You know what, David? I feel like when you can't win a trophy and get over the line under someone like Mauricio Pochettino, and then you bring in Jose Mourinho, and if you can't get over the line with a born winner and a serial winner who has been there and done it, then what? Then what? You know, what is the next step?
Yeah, and that's what scares me, Chris.
Anthony Costa. That's what I say.
think if you
put him in charge.
I think we have 10 games left. We have 10 games left, right? We're only 4 points off the Champions League spot with our game in hand if we win that. So
it's all what if, so Melvyn. And this is it.
We don't have any excuses anymore. We don't have any.
What if this and what if this and what if this? We should be in that draw tomorrow.
Can I just say this? We don't have any excuses anymore for him. You know, we only have Premier League left to play for. We're out of the Europa League. You know, every single player has 7 days to rest now. We won't have any midweek games. We won't have anywhere to fly to. We can play our best 11 every single game. We can play Reguilon, Højbjerg. He doesn't need to change. He doesn't need to play anyone. Play our best team for every single match, and we see where we'll get to.
But what's the point if you don't have an approach? What's the point? We can't beat teams above us. How are we going to beat Everton and United? What's the point? Doesn't matter how much rest they get. It doesn't matter.
Best, let's see what he can do with our best 11, because there's always seems to be something. You know, today he played with him. Once we take out 1 or 2 key players from our starting 11, we're finished. We never do nothing in the Europa League. We struggle. If we don't play Son, if we don't play Højbjerg, if we don't play Reguilon, if we don't play our best 11, and we only have 11 good players, and the back line, you know, we're picking from the worst one.
Even when we play our best 11 and we get pressed, we don't know what to do. And that's the problem.
The same thing happened with the Pochettino.
He doesn't have any excuses anymore. He doesn't have any excuses anymore.
It was against Arsenal, Melvyn.
If he cannot get a tune out of them 11, or get any results, you know, not having Europa League matches now, you know, then it has to be the manager's fault.
Josh, let's come back to you. Winston writes a very good point on screen. Winston, thanks very much for your question. Why do all the players look so slow? They have looked slow and have not been able to string passes together all season. It does worry me. When I saw that game, you know, particularly the Arsenal game on Sunday as well, but tonight in that first half, the players didn't look up for it. The players did look very slow. Why on earth is that happening after a North London derby? I know I keep going on about it, but
they're lacking confidence.
You've got to have a reaction. You've got to.
They're lacking confidence.
There's people every day that lack confidence, fans every day that lack confidence and get up for a North London derby. You cannot have lacking confidence for not getting up for North London derby as an excuse. I'm sorry, it doesn't wash. There's depressed people out there every day that watch Spurs and can get up for a North London derby. That does not wash for me.
It's not confidence in yourself. It's confidence in how to play. That comes from management. It's not that confidence you're talking about. They go in with their Rolexes and their Lamborghinis. They're confident in their own lifestyles. It's confidence to play a game of football. And
they went in off the back of a 6-game win streak to the Arsenal game. There's confidence right there. 5-6 games.
Poor teams, David.
He changed the tactic. Why didn't we attack? Why did we go back to a low block?
He was standing on the sideline telling them to press. He put out an attacking lineup. He put out our most attacking lineup that he could.
They don't know how to play, guys. They do not know how to play. They have no idea how to play the game.
If the manager told you to attack or to press, you attack.
Can someone explain to me Jose Mourinho's style of play? I don't want to know about the counter-attacking stuff. We've seen that earlier in the season. It worked for as long as it worked. What is the style of play? What kind of football are we playing? Like, someone tell me, because I just see hit and hope, try. I'm talking about when teams press us, not when teams give us space like Burnley and Palace. When teams come for us, what is our approach apart from a low block? I don't see a plan B, guys. And I want Jose to succeed. I'm all for Tottenham succeeding. I don't care if it's an ex-Arsenal man managing us. I still support the manager if he's winning for us. But what is the plan B when teams press us and come at us and show more desire? This is what baffles me.
Well, he already answered that, because that was the question when we were playing that way at the first start of the season. He answered that. He switched formation. He was getting results out of it. Yeah, we had a good string of results going into North London.
It's a very lucky way to play. 2 shots on target, 2 goals.
This is the team. He does have plan Bs. Like, this narrative that he doesn't. He does. He's showing his plan B. Like, we were being penned in the way we were playing at the top half of the season. A bit down to tactics, but again, down to not being able to use the ball properly. Now he's changed it up. He's gone to a 4-2-3-1. He tries to play it through the middle like Pochettino did, get it out wide, this, that, and the other. We just don't have the players to do it. But he is trying things, and he is trying plan Bs and Cs. This is the team.
I think he's trying things without actually training them properly on how to do it. It's anyone could go on Football Manager and pick a formation or a set of players, but it's how you work with them on the training pitch to achieve patterns of play, interplay, movement, and that's how you do it. You've got to teach these players how to play with each other. They're 11 strangers otherwise, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing strangers, man. I'm not seeing a unified approach, and I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but that's the problem with this club, with this team, is they don't know how to play together. It's just hit and hope, mate.
Sanchez has improved though recently. Aurier has improved since Ledley King's come into the club and they've worked with him. He makes a few less mistakes. So there is evidence there that he is working on the training pitch. He switched formation. The evidence is there that he is working on the training pitch with these guys. Like, you can say anyone can pick a team and manage them on foot, but anyone can also say that he's not managing a team or on the training pitch training the team. The evidence is there. He is.
Is the only way football that Jose knows is counter-attack and express football, bang, bang, bang at the back of the net. Does he have another way to play football?
There's no structure to our team, though, is there? There is no structure all season. How many times did they change the back line? Sanchez made a mistake.
You have to take all this into account.
But wait. Let me just say this point, please. How many times did a player make a mistake this season and then Jose dropped him for 4 or 5 matches? Dele Alli made a mistake in the first game of the season and didn't play him again until, I think, October. He alienated him out of the team. He sucked all the confidence the player had. He had a very good preseason. Dyer was saying that, we're getting the old Dele Alli back. And we were all excited for Dele Alli. And Jose snuffed him out. How many times players made mistakes this season? And Jose completely, dropped him for 4 or 5 games. And they were completely out. How can you build and teach these guys and have any momentum going forward? With Pochettino, I love Pochettino. I'm a big fan of him. And I've always said this. And the thing that he had was structure and consistency. There was always similar back line. And when he rotated, he always rotated the same guys. There was a system which worked and continuously worked for 4 or 5 years. And grinded out results. But Jose, with his experience, he's still doing simple things wrong. The simple things are still not being done properly. That's my issue.
He had a back 4 of Rose, Walker, Vertonghen and Alderweireld. There's no mistakes there. We have an over-the-hill Alderweireld and trying to find someone to play beside him.
Yeah,
no, we didn't address that properly in the summer. So he's having to find what works. When it comes to Dele Alli, okay, that happened with Dele Alli. But then you can argue, did Pochettino get the best out of Lamela like Mourinho is doing now? So, there's variables there on both sides. The common denominator is the players.
There is, but you know, when the simple things that a club of our size and a manager of our stature, you know, when the simple things are not being done properly, and when these small things that you know the guy should be able to inflict on the teams are not being done, that's when it's truly disappointing. Things like I said, you know, 3 minutes left against Arsenal, you put 11 men behind the ball and you bring that 1-0 lead, you bring it to half time. These are things that doesn't require millions. It doesn't require millions. It doesn't require world-class defenders. It just requires the right know-how. And it just seems that spark has died within Jose. It's not the same, you know, that like gladiator mentality, you know, you die for the team. Like Højbjerg is Jose on the pitch. He is. But we don't have another 10 players like him.
I think that there is a bit of a spark gone. Let's talk about the point from William Down. Thank you very much for your super chat, William. It's the biggest one we've had on the channel to date. Jose Mourinho, the 5th highest paid manager in the world. In 1 year, have we improved, Melvyn?
Stats say we have improved by 2 points, because if you look fixture by fixture, like I do on my computer when I go to work every Monday in the morning, and I look at last season's fixtures and I compare them with this season's fixtures, we've improved by 2 points. We've brought in Gareth Bale and, you know, 4 or 5 signings, and we've improved by 2 points. You know, we have Jose Mourinho, the 5th highest paid manager, and we've only improved by 2 points.
David,
so we sacked Poch, who's the best manager we've ever had, and we've only improved by 2 points.
David, do you think that we've improved? In the second part of the question, you know, if we sacked him, we're paying ridiculous money to replace him, who would you get in?
Look, on the whole 2 points thing, I get it. He's brought in players, but at the end of the day, we've all sat here all season. Everyone sat here talking about the back line. Some of these players not being good enough. You know, so you can't all of a sudden say or start saying that they are good enough. They haven't been good enough. And you can have the best attacking players in the world. You don't have a defence behind you, you're going to lose games. It's that simple, and that's what we're seeing this year. We didn't identify it properly in the market in the summer, and we're seeing that reflected on the pitch now this season. Well, when it comes to sorry, what was the second part of that question, Chris? The
Who would you get in?
Was it?
Who would you get in if Jose went?
I don't know, Chris. I don't know. See, it all depends what route you want to go down. Do you want to go down and bring the manager to work with academy players? You go and get the Ajax manager. Do you want someone that can identify players and bring them in cheap enough and go for a 5-year project? Bring in Brendan Rodgers, bring in Nagelsmann. But one thing that they have at their respective clubs, which we don't have at Tottenham, is the scouting infrastructure. So my thing is, you can bring in. Who would you bring in? This is the thing. Who are you going to bring in? No matter who you bring in, you're going to need to rotate the squad. It's a hard one.
Let me give you a question, right? Jose Mourinho, and I've said many times on this channel as well about Pochettino getting the sack because the board felt that he couldn't get top 4. Jose Mourinho come in, and we scraped that place in the Europa League. We got that 1-1 draw at Crystal Palace. Jose settled for the 1-1 draw to get the Europa League place, right? Got us over the line to get European football for this season, which, of course, we've gone out of tonight in this fashion. Pochettino delivered every season to get Champions League football for us. And, of course, he took us to a Champions League final as well. And as Josh said, he has left us with some best memories, the best memories that I've ever had supporting Tottenham, you know, in all the years that I have.
Yeah.
If Jose Mourinho does not get Tottenham in the top 4, and indeed he doesn't even get us a Europa League spot for next year, is he in trouble?
No, look, of course he's in trouble. Ultimately, if he doesn't get top 4, he's in trouble, Chris. I fully agree with that. You know, if he doesn't get top 4, he's going to get sacked. I'm not that stupid. But does it still mean he is the problem and the core problem at this club? No. You could bring in another manager and still get the same things. What are you going to do then? Say what we said about Poch. Oh, we shouldn't have sacked Mourinho. Like, the thing is, the squad needs investment. And until you can invest in that squad, the same thing's going to happen no matter what manager comes in. But ultimately, I agree. Look, if he doesn't get Champions League, he's going to end up getting sacked. But at the same time, if you don't have the squad to get there, what do you expect the manager to achieve? You're expecting him to achieve the unbelievable. With Pochettino, I know he got Champions League, but he also had a settled core group of players there. His players he wanted. He brought Danny Rose in, Kyle Walker, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Lloris, Ndombele, Wanyama, Eriksson, Dele Alli, Kane. You know, Son. He had a core group of players there every week he can rely on. We don't have that right now.
Josh, let's come to you. You know, lots of comments coming in now. He's in trouble now. Jose never has. He should be gone tomorrow. There's something wrong in the dressing room. The comments are just coming in left, right, and centre about Jose Mourinho. You know, is he in trouble now? Will he be in trouble in the summer? What keeps Jose at the club for next season? You know, where does he need to finish in the Premier League? And is this cup final on the 25th of April, you know, the key to keeping his job?
I think Daniel Levy will want European football at the least, which is what we got last year. So I think on that precedence, you'd kind of like to think that Jose would still be in the job if he keeps us in Europe. I say keeps us in Europe. We're not in Europe, but on a yearly basis, we've been in Europe, whether it's, you know, obviously Champions League or not. So I think Jose will stay in the job if he stays in the Europa League by winning a cup or finishing 6th. But I do think that this now comes down to the senior players as well. And I think there'll be a little inquest behind the scenes tomorrow or this next few days now. Ledley King and the senior coaching staff have to, at the end of the day, be responsible for where we finish. You can't blame anyone else but management. And I love David and I love his work and I know what he's talking about when he talks about players. But ultimately, the basics of any football manager is to get the players to play for him before he starts on anything else, whether it's tactical formations, whether it's, you know, how we approach the game and blocks and low blocks and high blocks. If the players are not playing for you and not putting in 110%, then it makes that chairman's decision so much easier to say, with all the greatness you bring to this football club, that those players out there are just not giving 110% for you. And that's the start of the end for me. So look, it's going to be result by result now. You know, he's you know, the axe is so coming down slowly every week, every time we lose a game. You know, that'd be 3 games if we lose against Villa. And you'd have to say that, you know, if we I think if we lose to Villa and potentially lose to United and Everton, I can see Levy having to replace him just to get a bounce to try and give us a chance to win the Carabao Cup and have a slight chance of making top 6. But it's a results-based business. It is what it is. There's a lot of money involved, and Levy's decision is to hire and fire. And I think you know, Levy's going to be sitting there tonight thinking about replacements. The problem is, who do you get in at this stage of the season? There isn't much out there. The best managers are tied up, so it's going to have to be a case of yeah. I mean, who say Eddie Howe? No,
That's
no,
available, isn't it?
no. I don't think Spurs would go for Eddie Howe personally. I think they'll hold out to the summer. Look, it's going to have to be one of those seasons where we write it off and we have a grown-up conversation in the summer with the players and whether they're buying into the manager's philosophies. He's very strict. He's very ruthless, and that's great in certain things in life. You know, my way or the highway, but. You know, you've got to have a balance of push and pull, and you can't keep just pushing players to pay for. You've got to pull them in and, you know, do the fatherly thing with them as well. And I just wonder if he's got the balance incorrect with how he deals with certain players, because every player's got a different personality and a different way of kind of being revved up. And I just wonder if he's revving up the players the wrong way. And therefore, he's not getting some of these players like your Sissoko's and Winkses to put in a performance. I mean, most of them will probably want to move away from Tottenham this summer anyways. So you're playing players today in one of the most important games of the season, that players that probably want to leave the club. You know, they don't see their future at Tottenham.
Josh, where have we switched? Just listening to you talk there, man. And look, I agree with some of the stuff you're saying. You know what I mean? But when have we gone from a point where a manager needs to motivate a player to get out there and play, rather than a player going out there to play for his position?
It's not about that.
When have we got into this situation?
It's because the players don't know. I would say to you, it's because the players don't know how they're playing together. They're almost individually playing rather than playing as a team. And because they don't have the know-how of what systems and styles and patterns to play, it's like one individual will play well, the other one will play worse. But they don't know how to play as an 11, like pressing together, defending together, controlling the game together. they don't have a unified approach. I see individuals out there. I don't see a team. And I'm not saying that, you know, the players are sitting there saying, oh, you know, I don't want to try. I want to try. But look at Doherty on the weekend. He was probably trying, but he was probably so lost that he was getting so exposed because there wasn't a system to support him in the way that that team should have played against Arsenal. And that's what's lacking, is the identity of our football is non-existent. And until the players don't know how they're playing together, and that starts at Hotspur Way, how are they supposed to go out and perform, you know, on the big stage if they don't know how to work that team together? You know, what are you seeing there? I'm seeing individuals, mate. I don't know how.
No,
how you
what I'm seeing. Look, I agree with you, but it's all well and good sitting here focusing on that when we lose. But no one's saying that when we went out and slapped some of the big teams this season. No one was saying that when we're off the back of 5 wins, that there's no identity. They don't know how to play this, that, and the other. They're not motivated.
David? What big teams? What sitting back and not controlling the game?
Every football club. When was
the last time you were wowed this season? When was the last time that you thought, wow, what a superb performance, and we've beat that big team? When was the last time?
Yeah, probably United.
But a long time ago.
City 2-0. Yeah, I get it's a long time ago. But we're off the back of how many goals did we score last week? You know what I mean? Like when we beat Burnley, when we beat Palace, games like that. Like, we're in serious trouble at this football club when we've come to a point where the players are not playing for the position and it's up to the manager to motivate the players to get out there. Regardless whether you're Josie in or you're Josie out, that's wrong. The players, when they get the chance, should be playing for their place.
I think the difference between Poch and Jose, a very big difference, is the players. They played for the manager. They ran their socks off and they worked so hard for him. And they played for the manager. They played for the shirt as well. They made us proud to wear the shirt. And it just doesn't seem they lost that under this manager. They don't run for him. They don't fight for him anymore like they did for Poch. That's
we're talking about Poch's prime team or the players that are left now.
You can't. It's just even work rate. Don't go off the players that there are. Even work rate and desire and passion, even that's not even there anymore. You know, these players are still professional. They train every day. These are the best players Tottenham Hotspur have. Stop comparing them, you know, the players Poch had and the players Jose have. Just even desire and work rate. You know, they don't fight like they did when they played under Pochettino. And that comes from the manager. What Jose did to certain players, it's just, to me,
it's because they liked
very big difference.
They liked working for Pochettino. They enjoyed working. They enjoyed going to work, and it was an environment that was productive. I just don't know what the environment's like at Hotspur Way. You know, are these boys going in and they're not being able to express themselves and enjoy themselves? Because football is about expressing yourself on the pitch. You know, the best teams or the most successful teams express themselves. And that's why they have the identity. You look at the way Liverpool have won the league, and look at the way City play right now, even the way Leicester play, even the way West Ham play, all of them express themselves in a certain way. And I just feel like, is Jose too strict? You know, is he a perfectionist? Can he not deal with little problems here or there? And is he ruthless or too ruthless, where he's putting these young players out when maybe he needs to work with them and kind of almost, you know, have a balance of approaches depending on the player he's working with? Because this one way or the highway ain't going to work, you know, and it's definitely not working right now.
Perhaps you're right, Josh. Let's bring Antony Costa back in. Antony, I take it you're on the phone to your agent cancelling the cup final song, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been on TalkSport now, but it was just about, am I excited for the League Cup? I went, no, not at all. Not at all. Not the way we're playing. No. Because they'll let us down year after year, game after game. But boys, this is what this club's doing to us, man. We're arguing. It's killing us. It's wrong, boys. This ain't good. It's not good for our health. And it's annoying because this club will always let us down, no matter who's in charge. As I've said it before, no matter who's in, we lost the Champions League final. I sat there and I went, because there was a mistake. First 10 seconds, penalty. Then our bottle went. So no matter Poch is in charge, Mourinho, Pep, we're always going to have it. We don't get rid of some of that squad, we're still going to have it. So we just got to ride the wave, boys. You know, and
do you know what, Anthony? I can't be like that, because after the Champions League final, I was still in Madrid for 5 days after, and I was sulking every single day, and I'm going to be like that after tonight. You know, I've been like it all week after the Arsenal game, as I know you have, and I'm going to be like it after today's game. But on screen now, Matthew Collins writes, the players have proved that they are not playing for Jose Mourinho anymore. You then got other comments coming on saying, I feel sorry for Jose Mourinho. Antony, where do you stand on the whole Jose Mourinho thing? I know I keep asking you this.
Chris,
but
I don't know, buddy. I don't know, mate. One day I'm in, one day he's in, one day he's out. I don't know.
But do you feel confident, you know, with his track record? And as Josh has said, you know, often, you know, tonight about his track record of winning all these trophies. How are you feeling about him? Because, you know, for me, I expected us to go all the way to the final, and I expected us to win this trophy. You know, some people may call me deluded or stupid, whatever, thinking about, you know, Tottenham going on to win the Europa League. Don't be stupid. But I believe that we're going to go and do it. I still probably believe that we're going to do it on the League Cup final. You know, I might be stupid and deluded again.
No, Chris, mate, you need to chill, mate. I love you to bits, mate, but it's too much. It's too much, fella. We ain't going to turn up to City. What, and play who? Winks and Sissoko in the middle, for example. Are you confident with that? Because I'm not. And get run ragged. Nah. They can put everyone in front of that Man City team. They will beat us and beat us good. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm talking cricket score. 4-0, 5-0, 5-1. We'll score first. The worst thing that can happen to us, we'll score first and get battered because you don't know how to play football. There's no, as Josh said, there's no identity. We just start looking around. What do we do? What do we do? Dyer blaming everyone else. Sanchez looking like just don't know what to do.
Antony, what about this comment on screen now, though? I feel sorry for Jose Mourinho. Do you feel sorry for him tonight?
Not really. Not really tonight. I think tonight's when I started losing my love for Poch was the Bayern Munich game. Well, it was Colchester really, but then the Bayern Munich game just topped it off for me when we were 2-0 up and obviously lost 7-2. That was a disgrace. And I thought, now everyone's down tools. He needs to go. And tonight, it proved it tonight. I think the players have down tools. They don't know what they're doing. Ali comes off. If Winks come off like like anything, do you know what I mean? He wasn't gutted when he came off. I'd be devastated. You know, he just came off, run off. He couldn't get off quick enough. There's no heart, mate. There's no heart in anymore. What's that, Chris? You're like, what? Nah, that's a bit unfair. By my word.
I just want to try and believe that my club are going to win a trophy after 13 years.
Mate,
don't worry, I get it all the time, Chris. Roll with it.
Boys,
that's what I say. Roll with it. I get it all the time, man.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to show passion because if I do, then it's like we end up like them lot across the road. So that's why I'm not shouting.
It could get a lot worse, mate. You know, that man over my left shoulder, Mr. Kane, that's what I'm worried about, and Son.
Yeah.
Could get a lot worse.
You wouldn't blame them though, Josh, would you? If they let
them
go. You know, Kane's a Spurs. You know, he's Spurs in the blood, isn't he? His family, not far from. You know, he's pretty local. I know all that Arsenal crap before, but you know, we've given him everything he needs to be a successful player. We've given him time, and we've stuck it out with him in his development years. He's always walked onto that pitch. You know, he picks himself, but at the same time, every manager's been, giving him, we've literally done everything we can for him. But what more can we do for Harry Kane now? Do you know what I mean? What more can we do? And what more can Harry Kane do for us? You can't question him on and off the pitch. And what has Spurs got left to now give Harry Kane? It's not about money. It's about success. It's about achievements. It's about having something to look back on on his career. So no, I wouldn't blame him, mate. I hate to say it, but I think the man is just unbelievable as a person, as a Premier League player, as a footballer, as an England international. You know, he's the biggest role model out there in football. If you're a young boy growing up, it doesn't matter if you don't support Spurs. You look at Harry Kane and you're on and off. He's an idol. He's a living legend. You know what I mean? So. Josh, you know what? He deserves more. He deserves more, and he deserves a trophy with Tottenham. There's not a man who wouldn't love it more than Harry Kane to win a trophy with this club. He's been there from day one. He knows what it's about. There isn't a player in that dressing room that wants it more, and that's why he performs the way he does. But even Harry Kane's not looking like Harry Kane recently. And do you know what? We're probably been a bit harsh today because you should have put one of those 2 chances away. At the end there, the keeper saved it, whatnot. And we would have been sitting here celebrating. So we got it through. But I think we would have papered over the cracks today if we had got through because the performance just wasn't good enough.
Chris, can I ask you a question if that's okay?
Yeah.
If you're Harry Kane and you're putting on your football boots and you're thinking in Harry Kane's position, are you sitting there thinking, Jose's let me down or the club's let me down come the end of the season when he's weighing up his move?
I think that as soon as Jose Mourinho come in, and we saw it in the Amazon documentary, Jose said that he's going to make him into, a player like Messi and Ronaldo, a player of that caliber. I think he's certainly done that. But I think overall, the amount of time that Harry Kane has been at the club to not win a single trophy, I think is just devastating. And I've said on this channel many times, Pochettino left, Christian Eriksen, Jan Vertonghen, current players at the club, Dele Alli, Hugo Lloris, Heung-min Son. Yeah, Carl. See, what really bothers me is the fact that Carl Walker, within 6 months, he'd won the League Cup with Manchester City. This is what really, really bothers me. As soon as a Spurs player leaves, within that first season, they seem to put a trophy in their cabinet. When those players have been in touch with the current Tottenham players and saying, well, look what I've won, look what I've won, look what I've won. It's constant. And I'm with Antony on this. It is so frustrating. You try and support your club. We love our club. We go and buy all the merchandise. We support our club to a blue in the face. We're looking at our phones. We're looking at the latest news. We love our club to death and we do everything for them. And sometimes you just want that little bit back. And 13 years, I know, you've seen it here with comments saying about I'm deluded about trophies, but waiting 13 years for trophies. So, in answer to your question, David, if Harry Kane left, I'll tell you what, I'd pat him on the back and say good luck to you. Because
and Chris, that person that calls you deluded about trophies, it sounds like to me they don't want to win trophies. I'd rather be expecting to win trophies like you than being called deluded and not expecting to win any trophies.
But you know what? I was expecting to win trophies this season because at the start of the season, Jose Mourinho turned around and said he was extremely happy with his squad. Most fans were saying, it would have been the perfect transfer window had we have just got a centre back in. When we were sat top of the Premier League for 5 weeks, it weren't only me, it was a lot of pundits. People like Harry Redknapp, our former manager, David Ginola, Jurgen Klinsmann, real legends of the club, were saying that Tottenham were real title contenders. These are players.
We were sitting at the top. We were sitting at the top, and that's not the way to win anything, mate. The way we got to the top. Come on, you know that, and I know that. The way we got to the top of the table, you can't carry on the whole season like that, mate. Playing that kind of football, it's just no one's done it. And it maybe Leicester in their title win somewhat played that style of football, but there's no way we were going to last, mate. And it was just a matter of time.
You've got the manager there who has got every team over the line. And
sadly, Chris, he's had the players, mate. You can't compare Dyer, Sanchez to Terry and Carvalho. You can't compare Ndombele to Frank Lampard. You can't compare Ali to Frank Lampard. Well, Ali scored less goals in less games than Lampard. Come on, do me a favour, please. Now we're getting embarrassing. We're clutching.
But don't you guys think that every Spurs fan knows exactly where the problems are in this team, so that those problems will be, rectified or fixed next season? We know we need help in the central defense. That's exactly where we need. So these things will be tackled next season, and these problems won't happen again next season.
Well, it should have been tackled this summer when you have Jose in charge, not next season after you sack a manager.
Well, they brought 7 players. You can also
argue, if we had a centre back, would we have lost some of the games that we did? Would we drop some of the points that we did when we were at the top of the table? I don't think so. If you had a centre back, besides
if they brought Skriniar in, we could be talking a different story.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Every time we win the game, all of us fans say, "Oh well, we should buy in. We should buy in. We should have had him. We've got more than a good enough squad to win tonight's game."
There's so many holes in this team. There's holes in this team. There's so many players that are one-dimensional, that offer you nothing going forward or nothing going backwards. Players like Sissoko, for me, Harry Winks. There's so many holes in this team that need to be fixed for next season. There's lots of dead wood that needs to go, and Jose knows, and the board probably knows, and he's showing them with these performances that he doesn't have the right guys. And if you fix these key areas, we'll be much better next season.
Yeah,
Melvyn, I answer the point on screen here from Winston. Should we take £250 million for Harry Kane and Heung-min Son for the rebuild?
No, never. We're only 2-3 key signings away. If you keep them, you'll be starting from scratch if you do that. These are proven players in the Premier League. Kane, plays for the shirt, loves the club. All the fans love him. Kane is Tottenham through and through. You'll be going backwards.
Antony, if you were Harry Kane or Heung-min Son, what would you do?
Ta-da. See ya. Bye. Take care.
That's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. I don't blame them. Listen, Harry Kane, Son, in 5 years' time, 6 years' time, they'll probably retire. We'll still be here chatting on this channel, being Spurs fans.
So, we won't.
Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be, what if we sell? That they should be staying because we're bringing in quality players. Quality players. I want 2 centre-halves from the Premier League this season. I don't want players from abroad that takes them a year to get adjust and knowing this and knowing. No, I want 2 centre-halves from the Premier League that know the Premier League week in, week out. Vestergaard, Konsa, or Anderson from Fulham. Yeah? Bitzer maybe, that type of player. Yeah? We ain't going to get weldies, so forget it. Let's start building. Listen, if Kane and Son go, I'll be devastated. Of course I will. But football moves on. What can we do?
We've lost our best players before, and we still always recover. We've lost Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Modric,
Melvyn,
Michael Carrick. We're always bounced back.
We don't ever move forward, though.
The last time we beat Arsenal at the Emirates, Bale was still at the club.
I know.
That's embarrassing. And we've got a cheek, not us, but as a club fans, we've got a cheek to laugh at them because they're losing to Burnley. They're losing to this. I
think the club got extremely unlucky this season and last season with the whole COVID situation. I think the club was starting to really flex its financial power with the revenue the club was generating with the stadium and the deals, and I think it's been extremely unlucky with the whole COVID situation because we lost so much money through all the concerts and all the Lady Gaga stuff and all especially from that industry, how much money the club could have generated. So we've been very unlucky in that sense because, the NFL deal and all of that would have translated into, big money signings. The club spent, they broke the record on Ndombele and was going to break it again the previous season with Dybala. So the club was about to spend big. They sacked our best manager and hired Jose, for God's sakes. He's the highest paid manager we've ever had. So
that's going to be Europa League 2, whatever they're going to call it. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? We might be in the FA Vars, mate. That's their version of the FA Vars.
You're not helping today, Anthony. This is supposed to be a therapy session.
Mel, it's true though, bro. It's true though. Salford City have won a cup. Salford City.
All of that talk about stadiums and money and stuff, that's all great, and we'll look forward to that. But we still should be beating Zagreb over 2 legs, and I think
bro,
I mean, we're sitting here talking about Guns N' Roses and Lady Gaga, but mate, we should be beating Zagreb over 2 legs. I'm sorry, that is just do you know what I mean? That's the point. It's got to such a sad point that we have to walk around the conversation to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. Because we've lost against a team like Zagreb. I mean, what's Ben Davies doing in that lineup? We've got to question these things, man. How can we go out there and have that cockiness and arrogance to go out there and put that team out and expect to win?
Disgusting.
The goals didn't come from his side, though. You can't blame Ben Davies. The goals didn't come from his side.
It's not that, but what I mean is, if you've got the attacking threat of Reguilon, it makes a difference.
But the right side has been conceding goals all season. All season we've been conceding goals from the right side. So
and that's the manager's job, is to somehow find a way to stop it as a system, as a collective, as a unit, not individually blaming players. That's not right, man.
Sometimes when you can't stop it, there's a thing called the transfer market, and you're buying players that can stop it. All great managers do it.
But look at the North London derby. That was a clear example of exposing a player at right back without developing a system around him to protect him and try and draw, or even forget winning, even draw a game. Mourinho's not putting the systems in place, if you ask me, guys. He's just putting them out there. He's just picking the team and saying, go out there.
I agree on the North London derby point about the right back. There could have been something done with maybe getting Gareth Bale or putting someone out there.
What were they doing on the pitch? What were they doing at Hotspur Way? When he knows the team he's going to pick, I'm sure he doesn't wake up, in the morning of the day and decide. I'm sure he decides with Sacramento the day before that. What are they doing on the pitch? Do they not sit down on a bit of paper, write the team down, and say, right, that's the area we're going to get attacked? If it's Kieran Tierney or Tierney or whoever it is on that side, how are we going to stop that? I didn't see any of that on the weekend, and I saw very little kind of anything like strategic tonight. So I'm sorry, man. That's where he's got to earn his money, guys. If we're going to bring in the best manager, we've got to expect the best from him from a tactical perspective. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing what the top managers are doing to snuff out results. We're going in there with a 2-0 lead and we lose 3-0, And they didn't even have any fans in the stadium. I mean, that was like,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you know what? They haven't even got a manager.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Laughable.
Mate, can you imagine? He'll be having his beans on toast tonight, thinking, "I'm better locked up." Do you know what I mean?
I saw that.
At the start of the week, we had a phone conversation, and you turned around and said to me, "Can you imagine that bloke goes to prison, and we lose to him, and they win 3-0?" You jokingly said that to me, and we both laughed on the phone.
Joke, yeah, because I shouldn't be joking about that, but this club has made us think like that. This is what I'm saying. We are a disgrace. We are a laughing stock. End of. You could come at me with, but we're 4 points above them lot across the road. They'll finish above us this season. And then this is their worst season they're having. And they'll probably still finish above us. And we're standing there scratching our heads going, oh, well, we did beat Man United and we did beat Man City. Come on, man.
Antony, I don't think you were on the call at the time when we discussed it earlier, but in my opinion, Josh is absolutely spot on in the fact that we should have been winning that game today. We should be in the quarter-final draw tomorrow. 2-0 up from the first leg. You're going away to Zagreb. Even if Jose Mourinho put out, parking the bus, all 10, 11 players behind the ball, win the game or even draw the game and go through to that quarter-final.
I did a clubhouse Spurs chat at half time and we saw it coming. People went, they're going to score. These lot are going to score. If we are not careful, they are going to score. And my mate was texting me going, don't worry, Ant, we've got this, bruv. He's just playing a boring game to see the game out. And I went, no, they will score. And as I pressed send, they scored. And he went, wow. I went, told you. Because I'm used to it. We're used to it. Who's going to make a mistake today? I texted it on the last word on group, Spurs, didn't I, Chris?
Guys, what happened to Orisic? He scored one. You can see he's by far the best player on the pitch. What have we done to counter him? Who have we put on him? What systems have we put around him? Flipping dude got a hat trick. Do you know what I mean? The last goal was a joke. The players look clueless. The players like 11 strangers, and I have to put the blame on Jose for that, guys. I'm all good for blaming players in individual errors within a moment, slipping or not passing correctly. But as a unit, we didn't even look like a unit. We look like 11 strangers.
Yeah, we had to go 2-0 down to start playing football. Well, trying to play football.
And he said it in his post match. If you read his post match, he talks about screw the last 10 minutes. I want to know about the first 45 minutes. What's going on there?
I've just seen a picture now. My mates just sent me Jose applauding them in their dressing room. Are you joking?
Yeah.
Are you joking, mate?
Look, I don't personally have a problem. I think he is one of the greatest managers of the modern era. He is, right? And we're lucky. Sometimes you got to wake up and remember we've got him. When you think of what he's achieved and the players he's managed, but then you think how deluded is he with some of the team selections, with some of the tactics. It's such a difficult one to get your head around, Jose Mourinho, because there's times when I sit there and I'm in awe of him, and then there's times when I sit there and I think I could have done a better job than that. But
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, what's the general consensus on Twitter? Is it Jose out or what is it? I haven't seen it tonight.
Jose out was trending during the game. I know that.
Wow.
Antony, let's stay with you. Matthew's written a question on screen here. If Son and Kane want to leave at the end of the season, let them go. Do you? I know lots of people talk about Heung-min Son and Harry Kane in particular about leaving, but can you actually see it happening this summer?
I don't think I can see it happening this summer because of the situation everyone's in. You know, the thing about, as much as we love Kane, he's always got that injury in him. It's just when and if it's going to happen. So maybe, I don't know, I don't know nothing about figures, but maybe his value's gone down. So I think Kane will stay, but maybe Son will leave in the future. That's my gut feeling, and I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I'll bring back Christian Gross.
Back Christian Gross.
With AVB as his assistant and Jose as technical director. That'd be quality, that.
Well, you see the comment on screen there, Antony, one of your favourite managers of all time. Bring back Christian Gross.
Shocking. This
Luis Campos winning.
This is what it's come to, isn't it? That's what it's come to. But I'd bring Redknapp back if you're talking just to steady the ship. Just to steady the ship, get them playing, you know, let them enjoy themselves again. As Josh said, football's about enjoying yourself, and I for one, am not enjoying that. I'm sitting there thinking, who's going to make a mistake now, and when's it going to happen?
What do Tottenham need to do now, in your opinion, Josh? You know, to make this, you know, a fairly decent season under Jose Mourinho, because we've all seen, you know, Jose Mourinho delivers trophies at his first full season at every single club that he has been at. Antony has rightly said that, you know, he's been breaking all these records, you know, unwanted records. But realistically, you know, Melvyn said about how many Premier League games that we've got left and, you know, teams above us. What can we do to make it a fairly successful season? Winning the Carabao Cup and getting a Europa League spot? Or do you think that it is possible that we can get that Champions League spot?
I think we just got to go for it now, Chris. I think it's got to a point where defensively we've not shown that we're capable. Whatever he's doing is not working. Whatever the players are doing, it's not reflecting what Jose says in the interviews. I tell them to push. I tell them to press. I tell them to do this. They're not doing it. We don't know why they're not doing it. I wish we all knew, because that would put us out of our misery. But, you know, they all look lost out there, like I keep saying. For me now, we're top heavy in terms of our attacking power, with Bell, with Kane, with Son. After the international break, they should have a little bit of a rest. I think we've just got to go for it. And I hate to say the words gung-ho or kitchen sink, and that sounds a bit careless, doesn't it? You don't really do the kitchen sink stuff until the last 10 minutes, but we seem to be doing that, whether it's Arsenal or tonight. And that's the only time you get a bit of joy watching Tottenham, is when they throw the flipping kitchen sink at it. You know what I mean? That's the only time we're causing problems. So if that's what we're good at, throwing the kitchen sink, then just throw the flipping kitchen sink out in 90 minutes and see what happens. Because we don't seem to get any other way. We don't seem to know any other way of creating on-target chances without throwing ourselves at it. And if it means leaving the back door open, I'd rather leave the back door open and push the front door wide open than close the front door and leave the back door wide open. So I'd rather just turn the whole thing around and just say, just go for it. You've got free license to go out there and absolutely smash it. In terms of smash it, meaning just attack, and try and beat teams 3-2. Try and beat teams 4-3, because at the moment we can't hold a lead. We can't double a lead. You know, we saw tonight we can't even hold a 2-0 lead. So maybe this defensive approach or this pragmatic approach is just not working for us. So let's just go for it now and see where we end up, mate.
Yeah, even change formation as well.
Yeah, I can't see this style seeing us to top 4. I can't see this style beating City. I can't see this style even finishing in the top 10. Yeah, I'm talking about the last 2 games, but there were proper teams that wanted it. Burnley didn't want it. Palace didn't really want it. Fulham wanted it, but we got over the line with Fulham. But the teams that won it, the Evertons, the Uniteds, the Leicesters, they're going to have us all day long. So we've just got to go for it now. And I think we'll take care of the average teams. But I think in the bigger teams is where we're going to lose the top 4 race, because they're above us. So we just got to go for it. Almost like how we went to Everton and just, you know, took the shackles off and just, you know, attacking football from the get-go. And that's kind of what we're used to seeing with your Redknapps and your Poches and your Martin Yolses, you know, straight out the gates and just, you know, 100 miles per hour. And then if they score, they score. But, you know, we back ourselves to score more. And that's the way I look at it, mate, because I don't see any other way this team is going to get results playing the pragmatic way they're playing at the moment.
Josh, if I was asked you to predict where Tottenham will finish in the Premier League this season, and can we win that League Cup final, are you saying no?
I think Tottenham will finish 6th. I think we'll scrape. We'll do what we did last season, and I think we'll lose against City in the final.
Melvyn,
now we're at the Europa League. It does give the players a little bit more priority and focus. Not that they're babies and they need that, but this is what they're going to get now. They're going to get time. They're going to get all that lovely rest that they wanted. You know, they're going to get all that space between games. So hopefully that's, you know, going to give them the fight to finish top 6. But I can't see us top 4, mate, and I can't see us winning the cup.
Yeah. Melvyn, what about you?
I think the only positive thing is Giovanni Lo Celso is back. He looked a bit, you know, a bit more energetic, you know, his forward passes, and I think we're gonna need him we're gonna need him to produce if we have any chance to make top 4.
David, it's the quietest I've ever known you. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm just upset today. Honestly, I'm really upset. Like, you know, for me, I'm just of the opinion the players have hurt me a lot more than what Jose has ever done. These players have hurt me a lot more. My anger is more directed at them.
Who's hurt you though, David? Because Jose said after Sunday's game in the North London derby, and I just cannot let this North London derby go. You know, very upsetting the way that the players did not perform and did not give the passion that North London derby. But Jose Mourinho said after that, you know, some players went missing. Who is he talking about? And did they go missing again tonight?
Look, Harry Kane was anonymous against Arsenal. I know he had a couple of chances at the end, but apart from that, he had a poor game. Ndombele was poor against Arsenal. You know, Gareth Bale went completely missing. You know, he probably went camping in the woods. He was that far gone. Look, I just want to win, Chris. I'm sick of ultimately, no matter who the manager is, no matter what, we just never get over the line. And I've just had enough now. I just had enough. I just want one season where we can just have a good season, win things, look good, play great football. None of this toxic stuff that the manager has brought in with him to the club, you know, the in and out and stuff like that. I just want to be winners, Chris. I just want trophies. Look, the reason why I'm crying tonight is just because I'm so pissed off. I'm just so pissed off. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It's just upsetting, especially off the back of the North London derby. Look, it doesn't make it good losing to Dinamo Zagreb any time. But off the back of a North London derby, when you see the players tweeting, you know, the Tottenham Tigers are coming, and then we rock up as Tottenham Cubs and do absolutely jack on the pitch, do nothing. Especially after North London derby. Even the first half, Chris, I was fuming. Because, you know, like the first 10 minutes you can understand, okay, maybe they're sitting back, feeling it out. You know what I mean? They don't want to expose themselves the first 10 minutes and give Dynamo that hope. I can understand that. But then after that sort of 10 minutes, you're looking, right, where's this reaction we've been promised by the players that they've been saying and that's coming? Where's this reaction? It just never happened. It just didn't happen. As in terms of where do I think we're going to finish? I don't know, Chris. I don't know, because look, if you sack the manager, is that going to be a detriment or is that going to be a plus for the squad? If you keep the manager, is it going to be a detriment? Is it going to be a plus? I don't know. I'm out of ideas. I'm out of answers. I just don't even know anymore, Chris. Look, it's not like me to be speechless, but this team have done it.
Personally, I can't see that Tottenham are going to sack Jose Mourinho. I think that if that was going to happen, I think it would be at the end of the season. But I'm like you, David. I don't know where we go from here. You know, it's just so frustrating week in, week out. I think that Jose Mourinho is very lucky in a way that fans aren't in the stadium, because I think that certainly at the home games, I think a lot of fans would be booing the style of football. There were some fans, including myself, you know, I was all about the winning. We didn't play, you know, super attractive football at the start of the season, and Antony brought this point up as well. You know, we didn't play super attractive football, but we were getting the wins, we were getting results. But when you're playing very dull football and not getting results, then of course the fans are going to turn on you. Antony, how are you feeling about this European spot? Because we keep saying it time and time again. We've got, you know, a very expensive manager. We've got Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, who we don't want to lose. We've got a superb, stadium, one of the best in the world. We've got superb training facilities. We've got everything there, all the ingredients there, but we're getting no trophies over the line. But the board expects that top 4 spot. So what are you going to be happy with as a Tottenham Hotspur fan at the end of this season? Is say 6th where Josh believes that we're going to finish 6th in the Premier League and a Carabao Cup? Are you going to be pleased with that? And will Jose Mourinho be pleased with it? And Daniel Levy?
No, of course he's not going to be pleased with it. I think they'll be pleased 50% of the fact that we hopefully won a trophy. But I can't see. I mean, I love Josh's, optimism finishing 6th. I can only see us finishing 7th, maybe 7th, maybe 8th. I just think we haven't got it in us. This has knocked their confidence even more after the North London derby, and it's just gonna. I just can't see anything going to Man United, playing against them, going to Everton, playing against them, Leicester. They're gonna batter us. They will beat us because they've got better players than us. Their recruitment's better. They've got identity. They play some good football. We don't. We got some good players, but we don't play good football. Not for the last couple of weeks, couple of months, and it's sad to see. I don't. I've been upset. I've been up and down. 40 years of this supporting this club. 30 years since we last won an FA Cup. But I'm being told, yeah, but we scored 4 or 5 or whatever it was, but we still had the cup. So how do you keep yourself? How do you keep fans happy? So it's never going to change. We're always going to breed a bridesmaid, and that's it. Done.
We have to get Europa League football or even Champions League football next season, now, Antony, don't we? At that stadium.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna. It don't matter, Chris, because you're gonna draw Champions League football. You're gonna draw Juventus. They're gonna come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, beat us. Oh, never mind. But it was a good Champions League game. There's no fight, man. When does it end? It's done. It's done. We're not good enough. We never will be good enough until things start happening tomorrow, i.e., sell the players that need to be sold and rejig the squad, because it's not good enough.
Who are they, Antony?
Oh, you know what I mean, bro. You know what I mean.
Yeah, but have you added any more to the list?
Have I said Davis before? I must have done, haven't I? Davis,
yeah, one too many times, yeah.
Yeah. Winks as well, obviously. Sissoko, Sanchez, Dyer. Lamella needs to go now. He's been there 8 years too long. I think, yeah, he's had a couple of good games because he does a lot of running around, I've been told, but that's about it. Bergwijn, not good enough. And Dombele needs a good kick up the backside because we know he's got something. But when does he really turn up in big games? He scored a really good goal against Wycombe Wanderers that they had to come on to beat them because we were 1-0 down. Come on, man. When's it end? When does it end? It's just pathetic. Pathetic. Our cup team can't beat lower league teams. But we're all jumping about because Ndombele did a pass that without looking. Come on, man. Come on.
You know it's sad when we have 2 players in our squad who can't play more than 60 minutes.
Yeah. It's laughable, Metal. It's laughable. And one thing, please, people, do not tweet about them across the road because it'll only come back and bite us in the backside. It's embarrassing now. We are an embarrassment. So I can't say any more. I'm too passionate. I can go really in. I can lose my temper, but I'm not going to because they don't care tonight. We do because we're on this show for 2 hours. They don't.
Kev writes here, just seen the post Jose Mourinho interview. He looks very upset. I think we should send him a picture or the clip of this video, Antony.
Yeah, exactly. To show how proper fans feel. Just don't know where we go, boys. What happens? Who are we playing on Sunday? Oh, Villa. Yeah, Jack Grealish is back, so he'll score. Ross Barkley will have a go as well. We'll probably lose that 2-1. So that's it. Done. Season's done, boys. Season's done. Just try and enjoy it as much as we can.
Josh, how are you feeling about the Aston Villa game?
Mate, after what what I've just heard. I have to agree with a lot of that. I mean, I think we can save the season if we win. You know, us fans are like, we'll be chirpy again for a bit. You know, we're deluded as well. Sometimes we're naive. We win and we get excited, and then this happens. But look, I mean, if we go to Villa and we win, which is going to be really difficult, I think the odds are in favour for Villa to win based on our form. Then, you know, we're sitting there going, yeah, you know, 4 points off here and 5 points here and all that. And then up come along, is it Newcastle we've got? Villa, Newcastle.
Joe Linton will score for Newcastle.
So we got if we take 6 points, and I was saying this before the Burnley, Fulham, Palace, if we take 6 points from that, then we go into the final, the Carabao Cup final. I can't remember if we've got United before or after. I've not looked that far ahead yet, but it just sets us up with a chance of getting top 4. But we seriously need West Ham. We seriously need Chelsea and Liverpool all to hit the rocks, and we need that to happen and for us to win. And I think out of 10 games or whatever it is, we probably need to win 8 and maybe draw a couple, or lose 1 and draw 1, maybe lose 2, draw 1, win 7. I can't see us winning 7 or 8, Chris. So that's why I said top 6, mate. And that's on us playing well. And that's me being a little bit positive as well, because European football, not at the lane. No matter what we say about the Europa League, when you get into this stage of the competition, you do get the bigger and better teams, your Romas and your ACs and whatnot. And that's kind of who we want to be playing. So I take the Europa League, you know, I take it because, you know, we get to this stage and it gets exciting, and it's a trophy we're going to be more likely to win than the Champions League. You know, how we did that in 20, you know, the Champions League run, that's probably never going to happen again for the next 10, 15 years, the way we're going at the moment. But look, I mean, if we beat Villa and we go to Newcastle with momentum and we beat Newcastle, then top 4 still on. Top 4 still on. Doesn't matter what kind of Spurs fan you are. Top 4 still on. Only because it's mathematically still on. And I don't mean mathematically by 10 points. I mean mathematically by 4 or 5 points. And if we're 4 or 5 or 6 points from top 4, doesn't matter who you are. We're still in there. We're still in there. And this is the way the players have got to think. The players have got to think like we're saying right now. They've got to think they're still in there. Because I tell you what, if we start feeling sorry for ourselves and we start feeling like we're the worst, crap, you know, we're this, we're that, all the negative things that we've said in the last hour and a half, whatever it is, then we might as well just throw the towel in now. We've got one last chance to save this season, and that is putting a run together, and it starts with Villa and Newcastle. And there's no reason, just like tonight, that we shouldn't go there and be getting 3 points with the players we've got.
I don't know whether you guys can see all these comments coming in from all these Arsenal fans and Dinamo Zagreb fans and all you know, fans of all other teams. You know, taking a mickey out of Tottenham yet again for going out of the Europa League tonight. Melvyn, how are you feeling about this Aston Villa game on Sunday?
I think it's the first cup final of many. It's going to be. We have to win 8 or 9 of them. Yeah, I think the first one is the most important one, because if you lose this, then I think it's over. If you lose the Villa match, I think a draw is not even enough. We have to win. And we have to win the majority of our matches. I think the first one is going to be the most difficult after this game. He's got to motivate them, and God knows what he said to them in the dressing room and who he offended and who he's going to play next match. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But if he loses the Aston Villa match, then it's already an uphill battle, and it's just going to be even worse. So if we can get this game over the line and get the 3 points, then, you know, we're in it, and with the players we have, and you know, with Son coming back from his injury, there'll be a chance.
David, let's come to you now. We saw in the Amazon documentary many times that Jose Mourinho and Daniel Levy speak hell of a lot. You know, he passes Jose Mourinho's office, you know, a number of times in a day. What sort of conversations do you think they'll be having tomorrow?
What went on? Look, that's the only thing they'll be talking about. How did this happen? Look, that's all they're going to be talking about, Chris, is how did this happen? I don't know what more I can say, to be honest. Look, on the Villa question, Chris, look, we're probably going to do what we done last season, make a good goal. When we need to win that game, we're going to bottle it, we're going to choke, and we're going to settle for Europa League. I think that's what's going to happen. But in terms of Daniel Levy and Mourinho, what's the conversation tomorrow? look, it's Levy's going to say we should have a squad good enough to beat this, which I agree we should. But then Mourinho's always going to say, but look, you know, they've got big games before and they're still doing it. What do you want me to do? You know, it's just going to be a lot of to and fro. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if it ends up in an argument tomorrow and something happens. It really wouldn't surprise me. Do they have the money to sack Mourinho right now? No, they don't. You know what I mean? So, look, at the end of the day, whether you're Jose in, Jose out, or whatever, whoever appointed Jose, they need to be questioned, because you don't bring them in like I don't know, Chris. Look, I'm just so upset. Honestly, I can barely speak, man. I'm just really upset. I don't know about you actually, lad, because you know you're after losing the trip to Poland, and you know what I mean. Look, we've all been let down. Honestly, I've just had enough right now today. I've just had enough. I just need a day or two to recover and get back at it.
These were Spurs fans who actually said, you know, Chris, you're missing out on your trip to Poland now, ha, and stuff like that. I just don't get that mentality. But, you know, very upsetting because, you know, like I said, I always believed that Tottenham would win a trophy this season. And, you know, I just find it so disappointing. And as I said, I'll probably be sulking for the rest of the week, you know, certainly up until Sunday. And, you know, when you're talking about reactions, you know, if the Spurs players don't give a reaction on Sunday, you know, then what? Last question for you all, and I'm so sorry that this chat has gone on for so long, 2 hours 10 minutes. I can't believe it. You know, when we're
calm me down a bit, to be honest.
I'm all upset. Give me a score prediction for Sunday. How you think Jose Mourinho will turn it around? Do you think that Jose will still be our boss on Sunday? Anthony?
I think he'll still be there Sunday. I think it's too late in the day now to try and to sack him and get someone else in for Sunday, but who knows? The result, maybe a narrow 2-1 win. I don't know anymore.
Anthony, have you felt this low as a Spurs fan before?
Nah. Where do I start, boys?
There's been some crap moments over the years, but I'll tell you what.
The lowest for me, I think there's two lows. Proper lows was Colchester, where we just didn't turn up, was a disgrace, and the Bayern Munich game. I know Bayern Munich are a fantastic side, but you beat your 2-0 up, and there was no plan B. We just bottled it again. So, you know, against Juventus, we're dominating the game. 2 seconds of pathetic, you know, lapse of concentration. They go and win the game. That's the difference. We haven't got it. Too many average players that won't even get into the top 6, 7, 8 teams in the UK Premier League. So, but we're all happy clapping them, going, "Go on, brilliant, well done. You had a shot from 30 yards and it's sky high, and you're running away because you're used to that."
So, something tells me though, Anthony, there'll be no happy clappers on Sunday if Tottenham don't perform and get a result.
Let's see. But
Josh, what about you? Score prediction for Sunday, and you know, is this your all-time low as a Spurs fan?
No, my all-time low was when I was in Madrid, about $2,000 down, having lost to Liverpool. But
yeah,
you know, it's there, mate. It's there. It hurts. Look, all is not lost. You know, if we put in a performance on the weekend, I feel a little bit better about it. This week could have been one of the worst weeks of our season, losing to Arsenal, getting dumped out of the Europa League, and then obviously if we lose to Villa, we're out of the top 4 pretty much, you know. So it might be one of the worst weeks of the season. But I'd like to think with Reguilon, with Pierre back, with Tanguy back, with obviously Bell starting, and so I'm trying to make myself feel better about it. But hopefully these boys will pull out a performance. Sonny's out, obviously Lamella's out, so that hurts us because they're 2 first-team players. So I think we'll probably draw. I hate to say it, my heart says 2-1 all day long, but my head says draw. So I'm going to go with my head on this one because I keep getting heartbroken with my predictions with Tottenham. But yeah, I mean, look, if we win and we go into Newcastle and win, like I said, we've still got something to fight for. And listen, Man City, we are their bogey team. So, you know, going into that final, we might have one more bogey left in us, mate.
Melvyn, what about you? Can we win on Sunday?
Yeah, I actually think we will win. I don't know why, but It's Aston Villa. We have the players to do it. You know, if we play our best 11, you know, obviously Son is injured, but yeah, I think we have enough to beat them.
John McGinn will score on Sunday. Just mark my words. He hasn't scored all season. And Joe Linton will score next week against Newcastle. Watch.
Betting tips from Anthony Costa. It will earn you an absolute fortune. David, what about you? David, what about you? Aston Villa away Sunday.
Yeah, no, look, with me, Chris, Aston Villa, I'm not too confident going into it. Like, everyone knows me, I'm usually confident going into games. Villa are better than Dinamo. I know we're going to have a better squad out there. But, look, I'd take a draw, Chris. Look, it really wouldn't surprise me if we went out and win. Like I said, you know, make a good goal for top four, but ultimately fail at the end. But I think a draw.
David, by the way, our video tomorrow's off.
Huh?
The video.
Yeah. Oh man, look, that's gonna be even more. You wake up, you roll out of bed, and then you see that. You know, it's gonna just absolute ruin my Friday and Saturday. That.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Do any of you guys want to say anything else before we go?
I just want to say, lads, honestly, much love to you all, man. Try and keep your chin up, and honestly, don't. There's three things in life, yeah: death, taxes, and Spurs letting you down. Done. I'll end it on that.
I just want to say, next season won't be like this. I think we have some young players coming in, like Ollie Skip, you know, Ryan Sessegnon, and if we can buy a proper centre back and a right back, next season won't be like this.
Josh, just before we go, do you want to tell everyone about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So Spurs Debate, all one word, as you can see on my name down there. Videos going on. We do 3-hour sessions. So if anyone fancies joining us, message the channel or get in touch with us. Yeah, it's a good channel. We put loads of creative content on there and we get into the bones of it. So yeah, thanks for that, Chris. And thanks for having me on, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. And David, do you want to tell everyone about yours?
Yeah, it's the Irish Hotspur. You know, I just put out the usual content. Get over there, subscribe, show your support. And yeah, look, there's not anything special about it. It's just a regular Spurs channel. So,
of course, it's special.
Yeah. No, look, you know, it does the job. It does the job. Look, I've had great guests on. I've had nearly everybody here on. You know, but. Nah, look, you know, it's not better than anybody else's. I'm just average. It's just the Irish Hotspur. Just go over and throw it out.
It's more special than the special one.
Yeah, you need to get Jose on to ask him a few questions, David. That's what you need to do.
I'd love to. I'd love to. You know, I really would. I'd love to sit down with the man and speak to him. Like, just before we go, what I really struggle with is that, like, Jose. Every player I've listened to that's played underneath Jose, that's gone on and done podcasts and was asked about it, they've all said, like, you know, that he does send you into games fully prepared. Like, they could come into the room where they all sit down for the analysis and stuff, and they were having books on their chairs that thick of every movement that the player they're coming up against, the opposition they do. Every player I've listened to that's played under him has said that. They have said that, and look, I don't know. Look, maybe I'm wrong defending Jose. Me personally, look, I don't think I am. I'm not too popular at the minute because I am.
Right.
But look, I just struggle to see how it is Jose's fault, and I just want to end on that.
We've all got different opinions, David. I've said this before. We've all got different opinions about players, managers, whatever. Yeah. But we all want the same thing. We all want trophies, and you know, 13 years without a domestic trophy is too long.
Shocking.
And you know, 60 years without a league title. You know, we haven't won a European trophy since '84. We haven't won an FA Cup since 1991. That's the one that I can't get over. And then 13 years since Ledley King lifted the League Cup against Chelsea. It's too long. It's far too long. You know, for a club like ours. You know, like I said, with the stadium, training facilities, you bring Jose in, you got Harry Kane, you got Heung-min Son. You know, all those ingredients, you should be winning trophies. Has to happen. Has to happen soon. Has to.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? And I started supporting Tottenham in 2008, and in my first season, we won the League Cup, and I said to myself, "Oh, I could get used to this."
Yeah.
And we haven't won anything since.
Yeah.
Right, lads,
Anthony,
I'm
what were you
gonna
going to say?
boys. What's that?
What were you going to say?
No, just bless you, Mel, bless you, man. I'm gonna shoot off, lads. I'll speak to you soon, man.
We're going now, Anthony. So, David, Melvyn, Anthony, Josh, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on.